everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome for sure. Did you have so much fun with that quilt quiz going on?
I did. I had a lot of fun. I wanted to do that for a full 30 minutes to see how good it was.
It's true. I wanted to see how many questions. It was kind of hard with the delay.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people answering. I hope you had fun getting all your answers going. I hope that you got all correct. And if not, that's okay. You can always find out from us here, all those questions that you just didn't know quite yet. But I am Jana Matthews. I'm here with the Grace Company, our Fall Festival 2022, Day 3. And I am joined by...
Carla Jerome, you know me.
Everybody knows Carla. Everybody loves Carla. It's true.
It's a lot of fun to be here today, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. You guys mean so much to us, and we just really appreciate your participation and all that you do to help us here at the Grace Company. So let's jump in and get going.
Well, first we want to find out, we've had, this is the middle of the Fall Festival.
Right.
So we want to let everybody know, we want to thank you so much, everyone who has put in a submission for our quilt show. That is closed, that closed on Tuesday night.
Right.
And we've had so much fun going through and looking through all those amazing quilts and everything that you guys are doing right now. You are such talented quilters. Yes. We just have so much fun getting to know you. And so we want to really quick, we want to know what you're working on right now. So put in the comments the kind of projects you're working on. Is it a technique you're trying to learn? Is it maybe a quilt you're getting ready for a present? You know, whatever it is that you're working on, we want to hear what your project is right now, because hopefully most of the quilt projects have already been finished as they entered. Yeah, we're going to move this a little bit.
So we can see each other.
Looking over the flowers.
You know, I'm working on my story to tell quilts. It's been a lot of fun. It just, each block I make for this quilt just means so much to me. So I'm taking my time and working on it and making it be the way I envision it going to be. So it's been a lot of fun just picking out little parts and segments of my life to highlight and put in each block on this quilt. So I'm really excited to show you when it's done, but it's not completed yet. So.
Oh, I'm excited to see that. I always love seeing all your projects, Carla. And it's great to go back and see the different quilts that you've done over the years, and people will call and ask us, and
it's
they're
like the history.
The history, yeah, exactly. Well, we want to make sure that everybody is, as you're putting those in, we wanted to pick a prize for someone who is entered. So we're going to randomly pick someone. We've had some wonderful things come through. We've had Halloween stuff. People are talking about doing things for
quilts
grandkids.
For grandkids, yes. And applique for a table runner, you know, lots of things that you're working on. And you know, I always have several projects going myself. So you're amongst great company here.
Exactly. I don't know a quilter who doesn't have several projects going at the same time. But we're going to do a Plinko award this time. We're just going to randomly pick someone who is working on a project. So we're going to have, and remember, as you win this, to email melinda@graceframe.com. And we will get you contacted for that. But our winner, let's see, we can have them put them up on the screen.
All right, and I'm going to get the Plinko ready. I'm going to take these out. Okay.
Let's see, a random person. Okay.
Oh, Connie.
Connie, congratulations, working on a quilt and pillowcases for her brother. That sounds amazing.
Sweet. You know, quilters are such giving people. We do it because we love it, but we also do it to give people some comfort and love and appreciation. And I love my brother too. So hang on, I'm going to put this up here and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Oh, come on.
It's kind of stuck there, Connie. Carly's getting it started.
Right.
Oh, excellent.
So she gets, this is a nice one. It's a 60mm straight cutter. So you get that 60-inch blade and cutter. And the straight cutters, I love the ergonomic cutters. And I thought when we were revamping the straight cutters, I wouldn't really like it, but I love this one. It's very comfortable to use. So,
and left and right-handed.
Yes, it is.
So you don't have to worry about that.
It's easy to change the blade, so it's a quick release. So it's not hard to do at all, so you'll love the cutter. Lots of fun with that.
So congratulations.
So thank you.
We're going to pick one more person.
Oh, fun.
Again, a random person who's working on a project. And Carly, you were saying earlier today that we were saying about quilters and how they are such
Right.
giving people, but they don't necessarily take time for themselves. And
Yes,
so we want to remind
absolutely.
everybody, sometimes the best thing that you can do for yourself is get the right tool
Tools,
to help
yes.
you, whatever that tool is. So let's pick another random person who has talked about their projects for our Plinko. So Deb Rogers, a Christmas tree skirt with embroidery.
Ooh, that sounds beautiful. And we want to see pictures of what you're working on. So please email me. I'm the one who loves going and pouring through the emails. So if you need inspiration or pep talk, you're having a bad day, email me. I want to see. So it's Carla with a K, Karla at graceframe.com. So I want to see these
Send
finished
all those
projects.
projects. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So where's
I'll
our
use
Plinko?
the other one this time and hopefully.
Okay.
Oh, a circle cutter. You're going to love this one too.
I love showing the circle cutter at any of the shows that we go to. It's probably by far the one item that we show that people say, wow, really, wow, let me try that. I want to see how you do it.
And it doesn't bunch them up, so you get those little jagged edges, and it makes it nice and smooth. So you can even quilt raw edge applique using the circles.
And I love the circle cutter because I can not only just do a circle, but I can do a hoop.
Oh yeah.
I can do a half circle. I was doing a demonstration, quarters or little leaf shapes. I mean, you can do so many things with the circle cutter rather than just circles.
You can put scallops on it.
Yeah.
You guys, there's so much that you can do. And even we don't know all the capabilities of a lot of our products until you send us what you are working on. And that's what's so fun, is that you guys inspire us so much. And everything we make is inspired by you. So,
yes. I mean, that's the one thing I love about the Grace Company is we listen to our customers. Yeah. We want to make tools that help you quilt better and more things for all your different needs. Now, I just want to remind everybody really quick about the email. If you have won a prize, to email melinda@graceframe.com. So that's any of the Plinko prizes. If you haven't heard from Melinda, please, just be patient.
Give her a chance.
Yeah, we've got a lot of prizes and there's a lot of people getting contacted. And so she will get that out to you. She will email you for those registration gifts. Now it's not too late. So we've already chosen the ones we're going to do today, but we still have a whole lot of prizes we're giving away tomorrow. So if you haven't had a chance to register, we're going to show you now how to do that so you don't miss out. You just go to our website, graceframe.com. Now you can put the www in front of it or not, either way, but go to graceframe.com and I'll walk you through how to do registration so nobody will miss out, because it's not too late for that last prize, that grand prize, all the other fantastic prizes we've got going on tomorrow. But on our website, once you go to graceframe.com, you will see at the very top there will be a spot for our Fall Festival here in the banners. And so you can see here, Fall Festival 2022. You can click on the Watch Now. It will take you to this page that will show you all the different things you have to do. If you've registered, this is the way that it looks. If you haven't registered yet, you'll notice it's just slightly different. It has the login or register up in the right-hand corner. But if you're worried, have I registered or not? This is what it's going to look like when you have registered, so you're all set for those registration prizes. Now for any of the giveaways, you can come see them here under the giveaway section, what we're giving away each day. But most important is our event schedule. When you click on that, that will bring you right here to the first event we've got going on today. But if you've missed anything from the past 2 days, come over here to the Watch Now section. And when you click on that, that's going to bring up all the videos we've had from the last couple of days last week. So both the 6th and the 7th are available. You can watch all the great events, everything from our ambassadors, from our education team, the information, all the giveaways, all the openings, everything. And most importantly about HBQ Stories, our home-based quilter, our new community that we've got going on. So take a chance. If you haven't had a chance to look through all of those, you're able to do that and watch them again. But you can also get set up to go there. Now, if we have our charity that we're working on this time, it's the Navajo Quilt Project.
Yes, very important charity to us.
Yes, so you can go onto the website and find that section in the Watch Now, and it'll take you directly to how to donate and what kind of things they need. Because they need more than just what you might think.
Yeah, and they don't need just money. They have a long list of items that we as quilters maybe have a little bit of excess of, and that we could kindly donate to them rather than getting rid of it right now. Just send it to them. So see what they need, and really please contribute, because it's our way of giving back. So thank you so much.
So we want to remind everybody also, if you have any quilts that you're going to be working on, any projects, again, you can email Carla at graceframe.com, or you can also follow us on social media and send it there to us. So you can go to @GraceCompanyQuilting and post your projects that you're working on. Tell us what things would help your life be better in the quilting world, and also how you're using our products, because we love to see the things that you got finished with those projects. We want to know what items you use to get your quilts all finished.
Yeah, I get a lot of emails of how should I do this, and we're going to start working on some of the how-tos of what to think about before you start quilting the project. I mean, I think the piecing, we've got that down. It's jumping in and quilting that, and what is going to make that quilt stand out. There's different quilts, different quilters, so every one of us has something to give to that other quilter and just inspire us. So that's what you're going to do by joining these blogs and websites and tips and tricks. So thank you.
Yeah, and with that, with our home-based quilter, we want to hear your stories. So we want you to go to our website and go to the home-based quilter section. So we're going to switch over now to the website. I'm going to show you again how to find that home-based quilter section, and we want to have you fill in your stories. Now, all the stories aren't posted yet, so we're going to come over here in our dashboard, bring it over to our home-based quilter section. There we are, and then when you scroll down, whoop, I went just a little bit too far there. So we can view
it says learn more about
learn more. Here we go. So we can learn more about home-based quilters. We can view the stories. When you come back into the learn more and you scroll down, it's a spot where you can start your questionnaire and you can start filling in the information about your stories, and then we'll get the stories posted up here by the end of the festival, so you have that opportunity to read not only your own story and see how it looks, but you can also read about all the other people in the quilting community here at Grace Company, because you're all a part of our quilting family, and we want to hear about your experiences, how you got started, what things you were working on, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a great community. Please join us, and it's going to even expand larger and bigger, because the more you contribute, the better it's going to be. So please become a part of this community.
Yeah, and anytime you're trying to do home-based quilter, we want to make sure that you think about the whole theme of the home-based quilter, which is definitely thinking about all those around you and how you get started. It's not just about professional quilters or anything like that.
We always look around for other sanctuaries, but our home is really the place where we find peace of mind, and we give so much to others in the home. So please, come and join.
Yes. So, okay, so then the other things we want to talk about that we don't want to miss out, again, it's about how our products help you do more with what you're doing, right? And so we want to talk about some of the sales that we've got going on.
Oh, yes.
So if there's been ever a time that you've been thinking, maybe this is now the time I want to look at the cutie frame.
Do something for you.
Stop pushing that fabric through your machine. Get it through free motion on your frame. So we're going to talk about the sales going on. Right now, the cutie frame is on special, the best it's ever been, for $5.89.
Yeah, you'll kick yourself.
Exactly, especially after the 16th. And I will tell you now, it's going to go up. Yes. It's not going to be that price anymore. So don't wait. Get that now, whatever your machine is. If you have questions on whether or not your machine will work on that frame, right? You're not quite sure. Is the throat space going to work? Can the feed dogs drop? Any of those, give us a call, 800-264-0644, or you can go to the website and we can chat with you. Or you can ask right here in the chat. Right now we have people watching our chat, so you can ask those questions. And sometimes, this is my favorite part, Carla, is we have the best community because people will ask questions and they'll get answered even before the sales team can get in there and answer it.
You guys answer a lot of our questions. You'll say, oh yeah, I know that. So, and you really help us out so much. So thank you.
Yeah, so okay, so we've got the cutie. It's on a fantastic sale. And then if you decided you want a little bit more dedicated space, it's not just a tabletop, we've got the Q-Zone hoop frame. It's on special. Again, fantastic price, $989 through October 16th. It's again can use a lot of those domestic machines, as well as our unique 16 series and 19 series.
What's great about our frames, and nobody else has this, is that front pole extends out. So you can put a longer arm machine on it. So you don't have to reinvest in a new frame. You can just keep growing as a quilter. So it's a really great price. So check it out.
Well, and I love too that, like you're saying, growing as a quilter, so you can get started with your domestic machine and those frames, and then as you're deciding, okay, I'm ready for that unique machine, that mid-arm or long-arm experience, I'm going to get going, and you can add it on. You don't have to get the whole system right now. You can just get that frame and get going from there. Now, we also have the Q-Zone Queen on special. It is on special again through the 16th for $11.99, an 8-foot frame, 2 rails. It's fantastic.
Wow, it's great.
Again, you can use your domestic on there if it has a large enough throat space, because you've got that rail on there. And then finally, our Continuum frame is on special for $2,199, which is just the best price. I haven't seen that price probably ever.
These are really good prices, everybody.
Yeah, and if you already have a mid-arm and you're trying to put it on there, all the machines will fit on the Continuum. So you're not limited, oh, I have to get the 21 because I'm getting the Continuum. I can do the 16 or the 19, both of them will fit on there. But if you're like ready and you're ready to get that mid-arm or long arm, our machines are on sale with a free frame. It's fantastic. I don't know why anybody wouldn't get this special right now. So they're not only on special, but then you get the free frame as well. So we've got the 16X series on special. Now there's 3 of those. There's the 16X Elite. That's on special for $1,000 off and the free frame. So you're saving over $2,000 just with that 16X Elite. Then we have the 16X machine. It also has a special. It's $44.99, $1,700 saving. And these are the brand new 16X machines.
They sew beautifully, everybody. I am so excited about these machines because they really do change everything that you've been working on and everything that you do.
They stitch beautifully, and I love the new light features on there.
All the new lights and the larger screen.
Exactly, yes, everything. Like, they just are so exciting. I mean, we want to just talk about just the 16s all the time.
I could be sewing and quilting right now. So.
We just want to get them all set. Yeah. So then there's also, we didn't just leave it to the 16s. If people are ready for the other machines, we have the 19X Elite. It's also on special with a free Q-Zone frame. So that's the Cutie, the Q-Zone Hoop, or the Q-Zone Queen at $76.99, over $2,000. This is fantastic.
And I love that you are giving suggestions to everybody else, because Janet kept saying, oh, she likes the Q-Zone Hoop Pro.
Oh, and there you go.
She said spending that little extra really kind of gives you those extras. So thank you, everybody, because you have learned, and you're along for the ride with us.
Yeah, you know the products that will work best. And that's what we want to do, is give you the products that will work best in your area, right? The 2 questions we always talk about is, what kind of space do you have? And then what is your budget? Because if you consider those 2 things, that will help you get into the space that you need. And then also, what quilts are you doing?
Yeah, and Jana, we missed one little item, and that's the automation. So I saw some comments going up about how great a pricing the automation is right now. It's time, if you're ready for that next step.
And it doesn't matter whether you purchase a frame or not, if you already have a frame. And if you have a question about whether your domestic machine is compatible or the frame you have is compatible, go to the website. Under the specifications page, it'll show you what machines are compatible with the automation system, the QCT5 Quilt Motion. It's fantastic. 30% off, including that gold card.
Right.
It's so good right now.
And having a hoop frame, That's not a problem. The automation works with the hoop frames
Having
as
the
well.
cutie is not a problem.
It does.
Yeah, you don't have a space for a large frame, you can still get that quilt motion. It's set for you. So we also want to talk about the other thing that's on special right now is everybody's thinking, oh, it's just the mid arms, it's just those smaller frames. Nope, we've got the 21X Elite on special as well at $84.99. So if I put this machine with the automation special, I can get under $20,000 for a whole complete system with the Quilt Motion QCT5 Pro. Everything is all set. I mean, these prices are fantastic. Now, I want you to pay attention what specials we have for that are going to end on the 16th, because I don't want anybody to think, oh, I saw the 31st.
And you waited too long.
And you waited too long. So the frames, those specials are through the 16th.
Okay.
Then the machine frames and automation are through the 31st. Don't wait still, because you don't want to miss out. But I don't want you to miss out on that cutie that was $5.89 and then it's off of the sale and you missed out. But the other thing we want to talk about is the TrueCut products right now.
Oh, yes.
All our TrueCut products. Now, we've talked about these a lot with our Plinkos and everything like that, but everything is 20% off. That's every combo, every blade, every ruler, every mat. Our new travel kit is 20% off. I mean, now is not a time to just spot.
Stock up on your extra blades.
It's the perfect stocking stuff for so many of them. Any quilter that you know, or anybody that cuts fabric, because they can do more than just quilting. It's any crafting things that they're going to do as well.
And here's a hint, tell your loved one this is what you want.
There you go.
Now you can buy now and save it, wrap it up with a nice bow for Christmas.
There you go. So other specials on TrueCut that are just specific through the 16th are the electric sharpener and the quilter's combo. Now we have those on a very special price just for $48. We did it super low. Get these stocking stuffers in, save yourself on the blades.
I've never seen it at that price. That is really a good
I know,
price.
right?
And the combo, oh my heck, okay.
Everything that you need to get started. So both of those together, under $100, you're all set with the TrueCut products. You can get going. Again, fantastic prices for you to tell loved ones, as well as for you to buy for other loved ones to get started.
Or even get somebody into quilting. That combo is such a good introductory price to get somebody into quilting and just say, hey, I got this for you. Let's come on over and let's quilt or cut something out together. And then we can start piecing and start your own little group. And everybody can have a good time.
Yeah,
lots of laughs too.
Yeah. And then we have one other thing that's on special. I don't know if everybody's seen this before, but it's the free motion starter kit. It's a special. Now this one can go with your domestic machine or with your long arm or mid arm. It doesn't specify, right? We've got the bobbins and thread in there for both of those kinds of machines. It's 40% off, just about $105.
Yeah.
The batting's in there. Everything's all set.
This is going to get you past your hurdle and anxieties of beginning to quilt. It's just that panel that's just going to walk you through, give you that confidence that you need to jump forward into that free motion quilting. And that's what this is all about, is to get you comfortable in your abilities, because we know you have it in you. We really do.
And you know, I've been in many meetings with you, Carla, and we sometimes sit by each other and I can see the doodle happening.
Oh,
and so
yes.
we also have the doodle page practice sheets in there so that you have that option, because that whole, you know, keeping that motion really going, important. It's the same, yeah. So take a look at that. And then finally, we also have a new ruler kit combo. It's 30% off to buy the whole kit together. So that's 3 rulers that Leah Day has helped us design, a ruler base for your mid-arm, and then a 3-piece hopping foot set. So that's the micro stippling, the open toe, and the ruler foot. Now that one ends October 31st. It works with the specific unique machines, not with the domestics, but again, 30% off when you buy all of those together.
Is that for any of the machines?
Any of the unique machines, yes.
Okay.
Now, if you have the 16, we don't have the ruler bases yet, so
they're here.
We just got to get them all together. So be patient as we process that all together. But yeah,
and that's a lot of fun too. I mean, those rulers are a lot of fun to add embellishments on your quilts. You really like them. If you haven't tried ruler work, now's the time to jump in and just try something new. I know you'll love it.
And a lot of people will say, well, I just need the ruler foot. I don't want the micro stippler or the open toe.
Come on.
And I've had
Explore
so
your
much fun.
options.
Yeah. I tried the open toe foot recently and I was having so much fun. It was
Right.
such a different thing to see that needle as opposed to
Right.
look over
And
the
to
top
be
of
able
the
to
hoop.
notice what you're stitching.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. So don't be afraid to try something new. We're going to get, all these different products, anytime that you're like, well, is it really worth it? Give us a call. We can tell you what exactly you would use it for and what kind of project.
It's like shoes and outfits, okay? You're using these feet for different aspects of quilting. So enjoy the process. It's not hard to change them out. If you think, oh my gosh, it's going to be this hard process. No, it's so easy. And we give you the foot height gauge tool, the tools that you need to change them out quickly and move on past what you think is going to be difficult is really going to free you up to do what you love.
It's true. And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that whatever product you're purchasing from us, we're going to help you do better and more with all those projects.
Oh, yes.
So, okay, I have one last Plinko question before we go to our daily giveaways. So I wanted to know if people can say when, okay, I'm waiting for everybody to be paying attention. Ready? Okay, when do the frames go off the sale? What date was it? Because I don't want anybody to miss that. So this is the specific sale for the frames special pricing. Let's see if everybody can throw some in there.
All right, so we did a lot of talking.
We did. We talked about a lot of different things, but I think everybody was listening, paying attention. I see it coming through there. Oh yeah, everybody's got those dates in there. So that's correct. The sale ends for the frames on October 16th at the end of midnight. So Jonelle Hinton, congratulations.
I know Janelle.
Oh, excellent.
Congratulations, Janelle.
So let's do a Plinko giveaway for you.
Ooh, Janelle, you get the ruler bundle. That's
This one's
awesome.
great. Now this is the 6.5 by 24.5, the 6.5 by 12.5, and the 3 by 18. And I love all those rulers for different projects. You know, you think, oh, I only need one, but really having more is better.
Yeah.
And you know what, Jonelle, I'm going to throw in 3 TrueGrip packets for that.
Good.
So you're going to need that as well as we go along.
Jenna.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. So really quick, before we get to the daily giveaways, we want to remind everybody about the events today. So we've got some really fun. We've got a quilted skirt with Courtney and Jarek. We've got,
it's adorable.
It's so cute, right? Then we've also got, Janessa continues her interview with Julie Silber about the different quilts, her historian.
That, Julie.
It's going to be so fun. We have our different ambassadors doing fun with feathering, don't be a scarecrow, fall in love with free motion, true cut and costuming. I mean, it's going to be a fantastic day. But again, if you miss out on any of the wonderful videos or segments that we have, you can always go back and watch them again on the platform into that Watch Now section. So don't worry if you have to go back to work or, you know, somebody has to be picked up from something, that you don't miss those out. Okay, so really quick, let's do our first giveaway for the day.
Yay.
This is the cutting mat combo. So our mats are fantastic. I love them so much.
They totally are, and you guys will love it.
And this includes the non-slip pad that goes underneath it. And it is a double-sided mat, and it has 5 layers. So it's self-healing. It's going to be fantastic. So let's do a drum roll for that winner. Robin Anderson, congratulations.
Oh, Robin, congratulations.
So Robin, we have your information. Melinda will reach out to you to get that address to send out your cutting mat to. We're so happy for you because, I mean, that's a super fantastic prize. So, and then finally, our other daily giveaway today is our $500 gift card. Now this can be used for True Cut products or Grace products. It can be purchased on a lot of little things, or if you're ready to get into that frame and machine, and again, a perfect time for it, right?
Yes.
With the machines on sale and that free frame for the $500.
The automation, whatever you're working towards, so yeah.
So okay, drum roll again for the $500. Woo! Sandra Donnelly, congratulations. Again, Melinda will be able to reach out to you and get your address. Now, a couple of quick reminders. If you have won a prize and you haven't heard from Melinda, please email her at melinda@graceframe.com. And if you were a Plinko winner, reach out to Melinda and she'll be able to get that information to you so we can get them all shipped out to you. Now that's whether it's
patient,
Plinko,
though. Be patient.
Plinko, and
Yeah.
also we did a special segment last week about we had employees from Grace Company who picked some blocks and quilts that they like. Now each of those people will be getting a free shirt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you get to pick either the cream or the blue. Now, if you were watching that segment and your quilt or quilt block was picked, we need you to, again, reach out to Melinda@graceframe.com, and then she can get you the sizing and your email and address and everything like that, so we can get those sent out to you. But it was a fun segment for everybody to watch. So, okay, so we're gonna go now to Julie and Janessa.
Yeah.
We're so excited to have that segment.
This will be a fun segment, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Tal with the Grace Company. Here we'll discuss eyelashing. Eyelashing happens when the loops of the top or bottom thread are pulled to the opposite layer of the fabric, creating the appearance of eyelashing on your line of stitches. The causes of eyelashing are different for the top of the quilt versus the backing. In this video we'll discuss both. Let's take a look at the top of this quilt. Eyelashing is especially noticeable at the curves and points. When eyelashing occurs on the top of the quilt, this indicates there is something wrong with the bottom thread tension. Cut the bottom thread and remove the bobbin case from the machine. We'll pull out the bobbin and inspect the case to make sure the case is in working order. Look inside your bobbin case. The thin metal at the bottom of the case is the anti-backlash spring. If it's installed correctly, the bobbin will bounce slightly when it's tapped. The center part of the bobbin should just barely raise up over the lip of the bobbin case. If it's lifted too far, your anti-backlash spring may have gotten bent or was installed incorrectly. Check out our tension guide for steps on replacing and reinstalling the anti-backlash spring at graceframe.com. While you have the case handy, take a moment to use your lint brush that came with your machine to clear away any dust from the inside of the case and the tension arm. You'd be surprised how much trouble just a little bit of dust can make for your tension. Now reinstall the bobbin into the bobbin case. Make sure the thread is pulled completely through the case. Pull on the bobbin tail. If it's installed in the correct direction, the bobbin should spin clockwise. Every time you change the bobbin, you need to check the bobbin case tension. Variations in the bobbin wind and even different colors of the same brand of thread can alter the bottom thread tension. To test your bobbin case tension, lay the bobbin case onto the palm of your hand. Take the bobbin thread tail and lift it into the air with your other hand. As you pull, your bobbin should rise up vertically, but should not lift out of your hand. If you find that the bobbin case remains flat on its side, the likely cause of your eyelashing is that your bobbin case's tension was too loose. Slowly tighten the larger screw and retest as you tighten. Keep tightening until the bobbin case just barely starts to rise out of your palm, and then loosen again until it stays in your palm in a standing position. Set your top tension to 1 at the start of your testing so that you can increase it if needed. When eyelashing occurs on the bottom of the quilt, this means there is something wrong with the top thread tension. The most common reason for eyelashing on the bottom of the quilt is that one of the tensioners or thread guides was missed or threaded incorrectly. Even if you've memorized how to thread your machine, it's still a good idea to pull out your user manual and open it up to the threading instructions. We're using a Unique 19 to demonstrate for this video, but the concepts are still the same no matter what sewing machine you're using. Just make sure to check with your instruction manual for any details that might be a little different. The biggest threading issues for long arm machines are the 2 thread tensioners and the check spring. When threading the large and small thread tensioners, make sure to floss the thread between the tensioner discs. Don't forget to pull the thread up over the check spring. You may need to clean between the tensioner discs first with a lint brush or compressed air in case buildup is preventing the thread from flossing through fully. After you've correctly threaded your machine according to the instructions, test your tension. Always set the top thread tension to 1 to start and slowly increase as needed. That's how to resolve issues with eyelashing. Thank you for watching and Quilting with Grace.
Hello, I'm Courtney,
I'm Jarek Rosnosnik.
and today we are going to make a quilted skirt.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, what I did was I bought a pattern on Etsy for a
Okay.
circle skirt. It's a double circle skirt, so it's gonna be 8 whole panels. Like it's gonna be massive.
Awesome. It's gonna be like a super long skirt, like how
It's
how
gonna
long
be about to my knees.
Okay.
But it's gonna be, it's got like, so this is part of the pattern. There's gonna be 8 of these.
Oh.
So it's a lot
It's
of
gonna be
fabric.
A lot of fabric, a lot of
Yes.
work, but also a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a ton of fun. So that's basically what you can do is you can just buy any type of pattern on Etsy or from Joann's, and then what you do is just quilt it out like you would a normal quilt and then cut it out with that pattern. But first, I am gonna put together my pieced top.
Okay.
And I've chosen these colors here because I want it to be really fall-like.
Colors. We're gonna have an awesome fall event
Yes.
here. Hope everyone's having fun with all the stuff that we have going on for Fall Festival.
Yeah. So this is the size, the general size of the piece top that I want to make.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just kind of place these in the color scheme that I want. So I think I want it to go like from dark at the top to maybe down lighter towards the bottom.
Awesome. So kind of like fade off.
Yeah, exactly. So like the bottom part will be this really light color. So let's check the height of that.
So did you go purposely pick out all these, or like where did you already have some of these in your stash, or kind of how does it work?
I had about half of these in my stash, and then the
Okay.
rest I kind of supplemented because I didn't have enough. And then I wanted this like beautiful purple color that I
It's a
didn't
really
have.
great color. I don't even know what I would call that, but it looks
It's like,
really nice.
yeah, it's like almost a like a dusty eggplant, which I like a lot.
It's like a dusty eggplant. Yeah, that's what happens in fall. Your eggplants get dust on them.
Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna just start sewing these.
Okay, I'm gonna let the professional up. Then I'll just like step aside over here.
Just gonna finger crease that. Do this one next.
Awesome. So we're just sewing these all together in like a line, right? Then we're gonna like cut it out essentially
Yes.
with the pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's our
Da-da-da.
strip. We're gonna attach it to this guy right here.
This little guy is gonna go over with this little guy here, and it's gonna be a party.
Yep. So we'll get that going.
Awesome. Look at that. Boom.
Ta-da! I've got a finished one right here.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
It's not out of nowhere. It took a lot of work.
Worked a lot on this. So this is our general shape.
I love the colors. Great colors.
So we'll just put this on just to make sure that it fits.
Awesome.
Yep, so it'll fit perfectly, just barely. I'd probably want at least another inch on here.
Okay.
On these sides, but I think it'll work just fine.
All right, sweet. We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Let's take this over to the quilting machine. Okay, so I have my backing. It's gonna be this really bright, beautiful purple color. And Luckily, we have a color to match from our Finesse thread line.
On our beautiful 21X Elite sewing machine.
She's a beauty. The size of the touch screen is just amazing. I love it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up and then pin my backing to the leader cloths. So I'm gonna start from the middle out.
Awesome, there we go.
And then so that's nice and tight on there. And then we'll pin the bottom.
All right, there we go. So we got the top pinned and then we did the bottom, rolled that up. And now what are we gonna do?
We're gonna float the batting on
Okay.
top. Can I have you hold these? Perfect.
Now I get a lot of people ask me about floating. Courtney, do you have any, is this like a preference thing? Because that's from what I've heard, it's like a preference.
This is a preference for sure because there is a batting rail underneath this. But since I'm doing a small piece, I'm not too worried about it. As long as my backing is straight, I can float my batting, no problem.
Okay, perfect. Yep, and then we sell these quilt clips here that will clamp on the front and allow you to do the floating. These aren't included, but they're a nice accessory that, you know, help you float it if you like to do that. And a lot of people that I know and a lot of people I hear from, they definitely prefer floating over attaching it because it's kind of just like one last step you have to do.
Yes, exactly. So here's my
Beautiful,
piece.
gorgeous.
Yes, very nice.
Very nice.
We're gonna just toss that on top, but we're also gonna float this as well.
Okay. Excellent.
So one of the reasons I chose this machine to work on this project is the throat length. So this is our longest throat length that we have, which is 21 inches. So I can get all the way to here.
That's a lot of space.
A good amount of space.
Oh, absolutely.
So I should only ever have to roll it up once more to get to the bottom of this, which is super, super nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, and like the amount of free motion space I have is just awesome. The stitches per inch, or like the motor on this one is a lot faster, so I can actually move a lot quicker. You'll see that it's not going to tell me to stop moving so fast. All right, let's thread it.
Now, some people kind of get a little bit intimidated by the threading process, and I will admit the first time you do it, it might be a little bit confusing, but after you've done it 1 or 2 times, it's actually super simple to remember. So don't get scared by the threading process. There's a really good detailed way, an explanation in your instructions that show you how to do it. And then once you're like us and you've done it a few times and you got it in your brain, you're not gonna have to look it up again. And on some of our other machines, they actually has little pictures there that kind of walk you through. For example, on our 19X Elite, it has images that show you how to thread it through. So that's some nice additions. Also built into the instructions, this screen and this display are the instructions. So it's actually in the menu. You don't even have to leave to go to your instruction book. And I can show that in a second after Courtney's done threading this here. So in this screen right here, there's like a menu in the top corner, and there is a help area, and there is a preparing to quilt, and there's a threading your machine. So it will show you, there's like a couple different displays right here. Like number 1, it shows you exactly how you want to go through this top post. So, you know, it'll walk you through each little step. And that's just something that's really nice. I like this detail that they added to these Elite machines, because you don't even have to step away. You know, if you forget, you can just pull it right up there on your screen.
I've got my bobbin in, but there's a bobbin estimator. This is the toolbox, bobbin estimator. We're gonna select a we're gonna add a bobbin. This color is purple.
Yep, name it up there.
Purple.
You see that we got an entire, you know, this is a whole entire touchscreen, so we got a full keyboard on there, so that's nice.
So, and about a full bobbin length is almost 55 yards. Okay. So that's what we're estimating it on. And we've got that going, and it's got a little green bobbin on the side, which means we are good to go. And then later on it'll turn orange and then red.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it'll let you know, it'll notify you once it's starting to get low, because it is an estimation, so this is based off how much you're moving your machine, so it's not going to be 100% right, but it gives you a really good idea when you're getting close and when you start paying attention, so that way you're not running out.
Perfect. So this is extremely important. Test your machine before you start on your quilt. Always test it. Always, always, always test it.
Yeah, off to the side. Or...
Yeah, so luckily I have this area that I'm not gonna be using, so I am going to test it over here to make sure that the tension is right and my machine is moving smoothly. So we're gonna try that. And that is looking amazing. So we're doing very well. The tension looks good.
Looks like a beautiful stitch on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my ideas are is gonna be more of like fall and leaves and kind of more organic shapes, maybe some feathers in there, you know, to go with my like bird.
Yeah, the bird theme.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start by tacking it down around here just to make sure that it stays nice and flat. Trim this real quick and then we'll start doing that. All right, this is so exciting. Okay, so that's as far as my machine will go there.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna start from here and then just kind of do free motion my way across this whole thing.
Okay, awesome.
So
Sweet. Go ahead and start. Roll it, roll it. Yeah, go for it. This is the fun part.
it is. Now, I hear you have this really cool design.
I
and wanna see you do
I
it.
do have a really cool design. Kind of do like a zigzag. So there you go. The fun part is when you kind of go back up and it automatically like turns into like a fern or a leaf. So there you go.
That's so cool.
There you go. Do you want to try out doing that new method?
I'm gonna try it. We'll see. I haven't practiced it.
That's all right.
But that's okay. This is all part of the fun. That's so awesome.
It's super easy to add plants and you can really start to fill it in, and what you can do is like start to angle it like I did over here so it starts to go in another direction.
Yeah.
And if you make one side shorter than the other, it kind of like makes an angle of the plant. So that way it's not just like looking at it straight on, so it's kind of like more 3D.
That's so cool.
All right, let's get started on doing all the rest of it there.
Okay, So it's about the time that we need to roll it up to the next spot, so right here.
And let's just show them how easy that is.
Yes.
Yeah, take these little things off and just go up here and we're perfect. Go ahead and lock a little bit more. Perfect.
There we go. And then we'll tighten it back up. Oops. There we go.
All right, pop that back on here and smooth this on out.
Now I'm gonna go to the very edge and then tack these on again. All right, what are you gonna show me?
So I'm gonna do a flower, since I was just talking about flowers here. It's kind of like a rose, and it has kind of a little bit of overlapping, so you just have to be careful when you're going back. Otherwise the lines can look like a little bit weird.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do my best. Again, not a professional, but that's what we're here to do. We're here to have some fun.
Yeah.
So just like I'm not gonna be intimidated right now, I need y'all not to be intimidated when you're doing your own projects, right? Because this is a super beautiful, fun little skirt that we're doing here. So we're just gonna go you kind of start out in the center here, and you kind of go around, and then what you're gonna do is start adding like little petals like this, and you're gonna go back and then out like this, and then back out like this. And they start to get bigger as you go.
Oh, I love that.
Let me ask you a few things here, just in general about free motion quilting, because we've been doing a lot of kind of just free flow, free motion quilting. People always ask me, well, they say, oh, I'm not good. They'll come up and try and do a little bit. And I think that's all right, because, no one starts out good. Maybe like 1 in a million people can. And we can be a little bit jealous of them. That's all right. But kind of when you first started, what was like your experience like starting to learn? Did you like draw on paper, or like how did you start to try to do it?
Definitely. I definitely started on paper.
Okay.
I even during meetings, I would just kind of like doodle around and just try not to move or pick up my pen or pencil and just see like what I can come up with. And it's really fun, I found, to kind of react to what you've already made, which is kind of what I'm bringing to this as well. Like I'll go into a feather or a leaf and then kind of come back around it, which is a really interesting way to like just react to what you've already put on there. And it's I don't know if they call it graffiti quilting, something similar.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that whole idea of you not quite sure what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I really love some of these other ones that you put back in here with like these loops around here, and then you went into a flower, and some of these other here that kind of goes into a leaf. I really like it. It's just super fun to be creative and just see kind of how it like spills out onto the quilt.
And it doesn't have to be perfect, because no one's going to look at that and say like, oh, they messed up here.
We're like, oh yeah, because when it's kind of free flow, there is not really a way to mess up, right?
Right, and also it's just you're just learning as you're going along, and why not make it into something kind of fun?
Yeah, I'll try to do some more here. Oh, well, if you can see on here, I'm red on the bobbin, so I believe that means we run out of bobbin thread here.
Luckily, I've got more bobbins.
What just happened here is we were seeing the end, we kind of got a little bit excited, kind of got a little like tunnel vision, like, oh, we're so close, we're almost done with this section. So it's good, when you're trying to start to get towards the end, maybe take a break.
I think you'll be more pleased if you just take a break and come back to it and really give it your best, just like you did with the rest of your quilt.
All right, so I'm just gonna go back right here. There you go.
That's great.
It's a little bit more dense than the rest of it, but that's all right.
I love it. I think that gives it more like shape and flow. I think it's very, very fun.
Awesome. Well, there we go. There we go, novice quilter. See, anyone can do it, right?
Yeah,
I'm not. I haven't actually made a quilt, so
yeah.
There you go.
We did awesome together. Also, it's very, very fun to kind of play off of each other's quilting. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, I think everyone does it a little bit differently. So don't try to be exactly the same as everyone. I mean, some people like to do very specific things, or very dense, or very wide. Kind of find your own style, whatever you think is fun. That's kind of what's fun about being creative, right?
Absolutely. All right, so we just pulled this off of our quilting machine. I chose to do the feather because I love birds more than anything. You know this. I spent a lot of time at a bird sanctuary, and I'm going to be spending the next 6 months at a bird aviary.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to do like a little homage to my favorite animal. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna place that pattern on top of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna pin it down. Do you wanna help me pin it from that side?
Show me how to do it, and then I will do what you do.
Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna just go all the way down and up.
Coming back up. All right, got it. I'm gonna start up here then.
So one thing I wanna be sure about with this is each of the patterns has a name. So this is the side front skirt. There's gonna be 2 of these.
Got it.
So when I cut this out, I need to mark somewhere that this is side front skirt.
Okay.
Because each of them have a different size at the top.
Ooh, all right, that makes sense.
I have my fabric cutting scissors. And what do we never use these on?
Paper.
Exactly.
don't use them on
This is
paper.
only for fabric.
Only for fabric.
Yes.
Yeah, you be careful. You know, if you're out there and you're listening in and you're not a quilter, don't use quilter scissors for paper. I'm just warning you because I care about you. I don't want them to come after you.
Because we will. We will. All right, let's get cutting. This feels like so much work to just be cutting through it. Not gonna lie. But
Well, like hopefully when we put it all together, you'll feel like it's worth it. 'Cause
yeah.
I mean, I think it looks awesome and amazing, and I'm really feeling like it's gonna be awesome.
I sure hope so.
All the pins out.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's almost a little bit like, I feel like I'm getting like a gift, but you know, it's not for me, but like I get the gift of seeing it.
Let's go! Oh, that's fun. Beautiful. Yeah. Cool. So that's just 1 out of 8.
Now, how do you feel about it now that it's all cut out?
It actually looks pretty nice. I'm pretty pleased with it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I do love the back. I think that's nice. It'd be really cool to somehow do it reversible, so I could wear like just a bright purple skirt, but this will probably be the top.
Awesome. I love it.
What I'm gonna do from here is cut out the rest of them and then sew them together just like I would the pattern, like the pattern of the skirt, but instead of hemming it up, I'm just gonna bind the bottom, just like I would bind a quilt. So then it does feel very quilty.
Yeah. I was wondering what we're gonna do on the edges here and how that was gonna work, so it'll be cool to see.
On the inside, if I do wanna make it kind of a double, like reversible skirt, I could do a binding on the inside as well. Ooh. So I'm gonna get this sewn together and then I will show you the finished piece.
Woo!
So definitely try things. Like even if it doesn't work, you learn so much from it. So this piece is all paper piecing,
Awesome.
Which I've done before, but nothing this intense. And I learned a lot. Like you can use scraps for a lot of it, but you also want to make sure that the scraps are big enough so you don't go off the pattern, which is really important. I highly recommend to have enough fabric.
Quilters are really creative people, so you know, express your creativity, have fun, try new things.
Absolutely, always try new things, and don't be afraid of our machines. They're actually super simple and very user friendly.
Yeah, absolutely super user friendly. Every time someone comes up there and they start using it, you know, I can tell they start to get comfortable after they've actually done it. It's just getting there, that's the hard part right there, being willing to try. But absolutely try it, get out there. But I really enjoyed this time here, you know, quilting and having fun with the project. It's definitely a turn up from, you know, just the machines and the business side of stuff that I'm always involved with. So this was super fun for me.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's been great.
That's all. You know, we'll see you later. I'll see you later. I'm sure Courtney will be here on camera some other time. But thank you so much for joining us for this segment. And I hope you have a good rest of your fall festival and your day, and a good fall day at that. You know, best season. Bye.
Have a great day.
Wonderful. Welcome back, everybody. We're so excited to be here with you. I'm Laurel Ersnosnik, an account executive here at the Grace Company, and joining me is...
I'm Maddie. I work in the education department. I am an education assistant.
Yes, and we're really excited to be able to be with you during this live. I know there's been some wonderful videos, and we'll kind of go over that, but I know kind of before, or in that last night, there was a question that came up, and I believe it was on what frame was Courtney and Jarek using there, and it was that Continuum 2 frame, so it is the newest version of that Continuum frame. So that's a wonderful one to be able to use that can be set up at any size, being an 8, 10, or a full 12-foot frame there. So that's a wonderful one with that. But thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're really excited to be here. There's a couple different things we're going to do. We have a couple giveaways we're doing for those that have been chosen from those that pre-registered. And then we'll also do some Plinko giveaways here, just to kind of say thank you, everybody, for watching and for staying tuned. Yes, Tammy, hi, Laurel, and Maddie, yes, we're excited to be with you guys here. And I know this is day 3.
Yes.
Ooh. Day 3 out of 4. I know we've been really excited. Everybody here in the studio, there's been a lot that has gone into this. So we're so grateful for everyone and the efforts that have gone in with putting together those videos, and then being able to help us behind the scenes here with it. And then thank you to everybody watching now as well. This is a really fun part for us, and we love to see this participation of you guys saying welcome, and then for the support of those, you know, that do win different things, whether it's a pre-registration giveaway or if it is a Plinko. It's wonderful to see this community that everyone just loves and is excited to share things with everybody. And that's kind of what you'll see with our shirts here, is that HBQ, or the home-based quilter.
Yes. Oh, I would love to hear from everyone what their favorite part of our last segment was with Courtney and Jarek. If you could put that in the comments. I know with Courtney, I worked side by side with her all the time, and she practiced so hard on her free motion quilting skills. She worked on feathering for probably like 4 or 5 months before she was able to do this.
I know. I thought that was really neat, because there was a comment that came that said, oh, you know, Courtney, you look like a pro, you know, and that just goes to show that that's because she had spent so much time and effort beforehand into it. And so I just think that that was really neat to kind of hear, because you're like, oh yeah, I guess this isn't her first time, you know, like she has put a lot of time and effort into it. So I thought that was really neat to see. And I know all these comments, thank you again. Yes, Janet, to see quilting on a skirt piece. I think that was one thing that was really fun, is we kind of paired some of those that are on our sales, our account executive team, with the education team. And so it was neat to be able to see kind of your guys' twists or ideas on different styles or different or creative ways of using quilting. Because I know you had done a really cute one with a boot that we had done.
Yeah.
And then we had Amanda last week as well, who showed us or made a, I think it was a binder cover. That was a fun, it was like a moon and a sun. So that was really neat to see. And then now Courtney with her skirt idea. So that was really fun to see. And thank you everybody, again, for sticking with us as we go through all of that. And I want to encourage you guys, because this is day 3, we have just one day left, but we still have a lot of other things we will be doing throughout the holiday season. We have Tuesdays with Grace that's starting back up, other digital events. So be sure to follow us. It's at, let me make sure I get it right here. It's at Grace Company Quilting. So that is our Instagram handle. So please be sure to follow us there and on Facebook as well. Because again, guys, we have a lot coming. And even with that, we have some amazing specials that are happening right now and that will continue to happen through some of them through the end of October. And then some of them are specific here for the Fall Festival. So our frames right now, so that cutie frame, Q-zone hoop frame, queen frame, and then even that continuum frame are specifically on special and at a discounted price up until the 16th of October. So Jana and Carla talked about that in this morning segment. So please be sure to keep an eye out for those. And yes, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Again, whether it's right now when we're watching live, or we have it on our website, or you can always call into us because we love to talk with you and help answer any questions you have. But kind of before we get into anything further, let's go ahead and do a couple Plinko giveaways here.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do it a little bit simple, keep it easy for everyone watching, but we just want to hear what's been your favorite segment of Fall Festival, whether it was on day 1, day 2, or now on day 3. Again, just what has been your favorite? Because wonderful. There's been a ton of segments.
There's been so many
segments. A couple of them.
I've been watching in my office, and it is so fun to see all of the different videos and the different education aspects of this. It's so fun. This is my favorite time.
Yes, I know. It's fun to see. I'm just going to read off a couple before we go ahead and choose winner, but there's a couple saying the Navajo project. And again, it is that Navajo quilt project, so make sure that it is specific for that, so we can make sure to donate to them. And I thought one thing that was really neat is they are taking monetary donations, but as well as others like fabric or thread, because they're doing a lot, so it can be anything that works best for you in donating. And then all of them, a lot of people said they loved the day 3. They loved the segment with Julie that was just before us here, or I guess 2 before the one with Courtney and Jarek. But that was really interesting as well. I watched it. It gave us some history on different quilts dating back to like early 1800s on some of them.
It's pretty cool.
That was really neat to see. So we're going to go ahead and choose 2 different winners here. And again, for this Plinko giveaway, but let's choose our first winner here. Awesome. Again, just favorite segment you've seen so far. Linda, wonderful. It's the skirt and the antique quilts. Congratulations. Yes, I love those segments. And that was just from today. Why don't you go ahead and drop a Plinko for us, Maddie?
Let's see what you're going to win. Let's go right here. Ooh, we got our circle cutter. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I love, even if I'm not doing a project, I just love cutting fabric with it. I think it's so fun, and I really do have such a good time with it. So congrats, that's so fun.
Yes, congratulations. And then just a reminder, yes, you will want to reach out to Melinda at graceframe.com. So take it down, it is up there on the screen. That's Melinda at graceframe.com. Make sure to take it out, even if you haven't won yet. Take it down. You might just be the next winner here that we choose, or later today, and then even tomorrow we are going to continue to do these live giveaways, so please take that down. And then we do just ask for your patience with that on Melinda, as she is trying to work through all those emails coming in to get you your prize. But again, yes, please reach out so we get you your prize. But let's go ahead and choose one more winner here, again, on what's been your favorite segment. Kim Jackson. Congratulations.
Yes,
Vintage quilts. That was a wonderful segment, and I learned a lot there.
So let's see what you're gonna win. Let's go right over here. Oh, you also won the circle cutter. That is so fun. Again, it's such a good tool to use in quilting, and it seriously makes everything so much easier. One thing that I saw, my favorite one that different segment that we've done is definitely mine, because
Yes.
And so I've been waiting, and I saw a couple people say ours, but what's been yours? What do you think?
I'm actually gonna cheat. I saw a comment in there. It said all of them. I haven't been able to actually watch all of the segments, but I really have just enjoyed all the ones I've seen, because I've seen a new creative side with even some of our employees or my coworkers here. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that about them,
Yeah.
Or even when I did the segment with you on the booth, I was like, this is so neat to be able to see you kind of come up or put your own twist with it. So I thought that was really neat, and I do really like all the segments I've seen. Yeah, congratulations. And then again, yeah, thank you everybody for sharing and for your love and support that's in with this community here. We love to be here. And you know, if you are just joining us this morning, Carla and Jana talked about sharing your stories with us, and we want to hear them. You know, earlier, you know, Julie talked about some of those different quilts, and she just gave us some stories on them, and that's what we want to hear now. You know, and so that's kind of where we have this new platform, that home-based quilter, that we really would encourage you guys to take a look at, because it's wonderful. It's a really unique thing. To be able to share your story and to then read about and hear other people's stories. And so last week when I was doing a segment with Jarek, he's getting started on a quilt himself, and he's like, oh, I'm going to post it on there, you know. So this is really a wonderful community that we're just trying to help create and give the love and share the love and ideas and knowledge that we have with everybody on that. So it's going to be really wonderful, and please make sure to check that out. We're excited to share it with you on it.
I have just barely started quilting, and so I'm definitely a home-based quilter. I'm almost made it a year working here at the Grace Co. And I have loved it. And so within this year, I have been able to learn how to quilt, and I have loved it. So with this cowboy boot, this is probably that was my first like quilt that I really did feel proud about. So
yeah, that's good.
It was so fun.
Yeah, no, I know that was really fun to see. Janet, this is a great question because I know this has come a couple different times. So there are two different shirts. So you'll see me and Maddie are wearing them now. So there's either this cream one or we have that fun navy one. So right now they aren't quite yet available to purchase, but they will be. We're still trying to figure out a couple things to make sure we can get those available to sell to you guys. So it will be available on our website. So please stay tuned. We will be announcing shortly when they'll be available to purchase. But yes, keep an eye out because these will be available again. If you want, get them in both colors, or you can just choose again either the cream or the fun navy. And they do have the HBQ mantra on the back as well. So that's a really fun one there. So yes, great questions. And again, guys, please, if you have any questions throughout, please feel free to put them up. We do want to help answer any of those questions. And especially now, people I think sometimes forget that this is live. And so this really is a wonderful time to help answer in the moment those questions you may have. So awesome. So Tammy, congratulations on your nearly a year with the Grace Company. I love the boots and heels paper piecing. I still want to find that pattern and try it.
Yeah, so I created the pattern. I was the one who designed it and all of that. So it should just be in the downloadables on our segment on the events page. So if you want to go through that, do downloads, and you can also email questions if you have any questions on it, and I'd love to answer.
Yes, yep, and that's where you can reach out to us again, either in the chat section here, or you can call into us or visit our website. So if you have some questions on where you can access those patterns, we'd love to help answer them. But it is, again, when you go to the watch now, that's where you can see all those different videos that we have already played or gone through. And once you click on that, just if you scroll down below the video is where you'll be able to find that pattern for it. So that's a really wonderful one. And yes, it is fun to be able to put your own twist on it. Wonderful things there. Yeah, wonderful. Can't wait to download it. Yeah, it'll be fun. And
so fun.
It's cute. And then I know there was a question that came up, kind of separate, but it's a really good question that I think comes up when you're looking or trying to decide what to get when getting into quilting. And so it says, is a stitch regulator and speed control the same thing? So this is a really good question. So they are separate. So really I'll talk just kind of briefly and hopefully it'll help simplify it for you. So a speed control does the same things your foot pedal does. It just takes the place of it. So you are still able to adjust the speed, but it doesn't regulate those stitches. The stitch regulator helps regulate. So meaning regardless of how fast I move my machine or my fabric, it's going to keep those stitches even and consistent. Again, that speed control does not do that. It just acts like your foot pedal, but again, kind of in a sense is bringing those controls up to right by your hand. So I hope that helped clarify. If not, again, reach out to us on our website at graceframe.com or call in to us at 1-800-264-0644, and we'd be more than happy to answer those questions there for you. And then kind of, you know, as we are getting a little bit through this first midway segment, we have two other giveaways we're doing for those that have chosen from pre-registrants. So the first one we're going to be doing is our 5-foot Luminess Lightbar. So this one is really wonderful. I don't know, Maddie, have you ever kind of seen this in work or working or before or whatever?
So I actually have one.
Oh, okay.
So in my quilting room, that's in my basement, I have it set up, and it is crazy to see how much light it gives you and how important it is to really have it.
I can turn on my regular light for my room, and then I turn that thing on, and it's like the heavens opened up. It is perfect, especially to see all those little stitches, and I do a lot of unpicking, and that's not the fun part, but it also really helps seeing all those, so it's really great.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And then it is nice because it's height adjustable and then sits on casters as well, so you can really move it to where you want it to be. It says, boy, I could use that. Let me make sure. Cataracts must be coming back, getting harder to see. Good luck all. Yes. It really is. That's the thing, you know, we say is you can never have too much light, which is just absolutely true, right? Yes, it is a wonderful light. And then it's really nice because it is what we call a true color, meaning that it's not going to cast any yellow hue or anything over your fabric or the thread you may be using. So that's a really nice feature because oftentimes in our homes, they tend to have a little bit more of that yellow hue to it. So this way, it'll help eliminate that or keep that at bay for you. But this one is really nice. Usually retails for about $499.95. But again, we're going to be giving it away free. So let's go ahead and do a drum roll for that giveaway. Woo! We'll get it here in just a minute. Keep you on the edge. Make sure you guys are all focused. Making sure. Yes, wonderful. Ursula Miller, congratulations.
Congrats.
You'll absolutely love that. And now, Ursula, this is chosen from those that have pre-registered, so we actually will be reaching out to you to make sure we can get your information and get you that Lightbar. And again, please just be patient with us as we work through that. But the next thing we're going to be giving away is what we call our sharpeners, or really our sharpener combo. So it's our electric sharpener and then our linear sharpener. So these are really neat. They both kind of use or have the same key ingredient. And so it's what we call a diamond grit stone. So as we've developed these, we used to have a couple different types of stone, but with the diamond grit stone, there's never a need to replace it. Ever. It's just like you use with your knife.
Cool.
It's going to forever be able to help continue to sharpen those blades for you, really for the lifespan of those actual sharpeners themselves. And they're really nice because you have that electric one or you have that manual one. And so the manual one is nice, so you can say go right from cutting to sharpening, you know, and then while you're doing that, you can use that electric sharpener to have, you know, any old blades you may have sharpening at the same time. So really wonderful things. And again, we are going to be giving away both of those for you guys today.
Ah,
and
exciting.
So, yes, it's a wonderful one. And then I would again encourage you guys, we do have specials, so if you aren't the winners of this,
yes,
we will, and actually on both these items, I believe, I know especially that electric one, we do have it on special for you for this fall festival, so please stay tuned for that. Or really, I guess you can go check it out now because we do have it for you. But again, they were going to be giving away that linear sharpener as well as the electric sharpener. On that one, we're going to actually, we'll be reaching out to you on that one to let you know who was the winner of it. Because it looks like, you know, as this are chosen from those who are pre-registered, we are choosing them kind of the day of, I believe, to make sure that everyone that hasn't registered still has a chance and is entered in to win on those. So
yeah,
stay tuned. We will be giving you, or really, we'll be reaching out to you for the winner of those two items. But if we can maybe just bring them back up on camera, just so we can kind of see again those two different items that you will be winning there, and that you can also again purchase if you are not the winner of them.
I love these products. They make my quilting experience so much easier.
Yes, they are fantastic. And again, I want to encourage you guys, I've said it before, but we do have some amazing specials. And Nathan said it at the very beginning of the event, but they are low enough prices that it scares him. It really does scare him because he's like, oh my gosh, I don't know, can we do that, you know? And it's, again, lowest pricing you'll see on some of those items that we have, like the cutie frame, $589. That is the absolute lowest we have ever had that frame.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then Jana said this morning, it is the lowest it's going to be, and that price is going to stay only up until October 16th.
So get it now.
Ooh, yes, exactly. Because actually, I don't even know what day it is anymore. The 13th or something? I don't know.
Yes,
but it's 13th. So through pretty much to the end of this week is only how good that price is going to stand for. So this is the time, if you ever thought about it, now's the time to get it. And then, you know, if you're like, oh, I've looked at it, but I don't know if it's going to work with my machine, call into us. We'll help, you know, tell you if it works with it. Then Linda, what is the linear sharpener like? Wonderful. It's just...
That took me a minute to process. that.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice part where, again, it's something that's manual and it works with pretty much any cutters out there, so it doesn't have to just be ours, but again, will help sharpen that blade. But we just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we do actually have the winner. So before we move into this next segment, it's Tony Taylor for those sharpeners. So congratulations again, Tony Taylor. We will be reaching out to you, but let's go ahead and get into our next segment here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Hello and welcome. My name is Jackson from Australia, and today I'm going to be presenting Feathers Made Fun. Now, often when we think of feathers, we go, oh no, and we get scared and we overthink them. So today I'm going to show you some wide varieties of feathers and different ways that they can be used, from on a spine to off another motif, and best one, when they're flowing off each other to create like an all over design. So I'm going to take you over to the machine now and share with you some fun feathers. When we look at feathers, we often see them on a spine or another motif such as a swirl, but they can also be done off the back of each other, which also adds a nice elegant look, especially in backgrounds. So I'm going to thread my machine with this lovely royal purple finesse, and I will start quilting. I'm going to start off with swirls. I reflect back on my quilting journey and remember being so scared, but I could do swirls, and that was what led me to doing feathers. So I'm going to start by doing a swirl, followed by one coming off it, and another. Now notice how with my swirls, when I branch out and come back in, I'm not nesting where I left off. I'm nesting back from that point a little bit so I can keep evolving into the next one. And just like that, I have created some swirls. Now I'm just going to come out, and this is always the best way to make something look a little bit more highlighted, is echo it. Using the foot spacing as a rough guide. I could even branch off and do another set. Echo those. Now let me show you some fun variations of this one. And this time I'm actually going to do a spine. So I travel up and down. Now, instead of doing a swirl, we can come in, we can go out, and then go again. So we come in, and up, back, and in. So flip around, flick out, and back in. So now I'm near the top. I've got an option. I could try to do them in reverse, but I know that's quite challenging for myself. So instead, I'm actually going to echo around, giving it a fun look. To the other side, where I can go again. Now something that you may notice is that one side does look different to the other, and that's normal for me because I find if I'm doing feathers one way, they'll look different to the other. It's kind of like my signature handwriting, I guess we could say. Okay, now I'm going to show you another fun feather. And this time again, I'll do it on a spine. So I started by coming out into like a bump. And then I would repeat that bump. And this one, I help build my confidence in forming that feather-like shape. Now I'm just going to travel back and echo these. And as we travel back, you will notice that they are all different, and that's completely okay. In fact, quilting's adding interest to our quilts, so the more different, the more interest, the better. Just build up. Now, I'm going to do something here. So, you may have noticed here, I'm going out on a similar angle, but this one, I've just come in a little close. And there's not much of a gap there. So what I do is I do a massive feather over the smaller one. And at the top, I'm just going to do a little teardrop. And just like that. Okay, so I'm going to show how I like to do the echoed feather on the back of another motif. So I'm going to start by doing a swirl. I'm just going to start here and build off this. Now you'll start to notice that these are all looking reasonably similar in size and spacing. As we're going around a curve, it tends to be something that we naturally do, I've noticed. I'm actually just going to echo these. Okay, so now I'm going to show another type of feather, which was one of the ones I used to use quite a lot. So I'm going to start by doing a really fun spine. And this one, we come out and make like little fingers almost. And here, I'm not actually traveling on any previously quilted lines, but on the other side, once I echo down here, I'll show you just how fun that one can be as well. So, if I was travelling on the same line, or closer, you'd start to notice that it looks a little bit different. Now, I'm doing something here, and I'm going to stop and show you. Notice how I've started to fan them in towards the spine, and we want them to come out from the spine almost. What we can do to solve that is then we just go here, when we start noticing, we just come out a bit more over those, and it still looks just as elegant. Moving a little teardrop at the top and echo our way back down. Now I'm going to show you what it would look like on the back of another motif. just love how this machine glides along here, helping me ease with those feathers. And I'm going to come back and echo it. You probably noticed by now, I do love echoing when I'm doing feathers. I find it just really highlights them and really shows off what they have to offer. Now, I'm going to show another feather, which is quite fun. This one has a little bit of backtracking, but don't be scared. I've got a trick for you. So, I'm going to start by doing a spine. Now, we start by doing a normal feather, but then we stop, travel back, and then we create the next one. So we come over, travel back, and into the next one. Now, travel back, onto the next one. Travel back, to the next one. Now, I'm going to echo my way down. And I'll show you a trick now. So, if we're a bit worried about this, we can do a swirl and go off the swirl. I found when I was practicing this one a while back that by doing the swirl, it helped me stop worrying about going over the line, for example, like that. I found the swirl helped me come in and then I could regain myself to come out again. I've run out of space there, so let's have a look at that motif in terms of around another motif. This time around, I'm going to do a feather. So we come out with our first one. On top, trouble. Out, trouble. Just like that. And I'm just following the curvature around, like so, and then I'm going to echo it, like so, and I think that's quite fun. Now, here's another fun feather. This one I've actually done quite a bit of lately, and I find it looks really elegant. So, again, I'm going to do a spine. From the base of the spine, I'm going to come out and create, imagine like there's a feather and we've just grabbed the end and pulled it in. So, we go out, and as we're about to come back, we go out again. So we go out. As we'd normally come back, we go out again, creating like two feathers in one. Now, I'm going to echo this one. Of course I'm going to echo it, everyone's probably thinking. And I'm going to repeat this one on the other side. But this time I'm going to show you something fun that we can add to it. So we've created that. Now we can come in and add our little feather. I'm going to now back it on to another motif. So this motif, let me think. Swirl, teardrop, oh, hang on, I got an idea. What about a petal? All right, let's go. So, one thing I found when playing around with this motif is that having that bit of spacing between them, I'll show you a bit better when I come around this way. See how there's that little bit of spacing between them that gives it like a point kind of thing, like a spike almost, or a claw? I find that really helps. I don't know why, but I found when I tried to do them where they were exactly on each other, it really threw me off, but everyone finds something different that's more comfortable for them. Now, I'm going to sidetrack a little and show a really cool fun thing we can do with that. We could create a swirl, and instead of having it as a feather, we could create petals. Just like that. It was actually just so fun drawing away. And we could go back and repeat that same process, not worrying where we land to make it look more natural. And we could create like cool blooming looking flowers. I think this would be awesome in something like a whole cloth or an area where you just want to add that nice pop of texture. And you could echo it. So there's that one there. Now, I'm going to show another fun feather. So again, starting with a spine, we come out, and then we arc in, and then arc down, arc out, in, and in. This one kind of reminds me of like some haunted forest plants that would be in there, you know, like the leaves on them. But this one here, again, I find having that bit of a spacing between them really defines the shape. But not only that, it makes it a lot more unique and easier to achieve as well. If I was going on top of that, the feather doesn't really have the impact that we would be searching for. So I'm going to travel back, and I'm going to go along the other side. Now, this motif really does come to life when we mix it with a swirl, like so. Let's do that here. Now another thing I'm going to point out with swirls, we can do them where they're more like a teardrop, or we can do them as a full swirl. Everyone's different, and we find what we like, and we generally roll with it because that's our style in quilting, right? Come along and echo it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I like to do the feathers backed off each other. And my thread choice is going to be primary school. It's got so many fun colours for some fun quilting. So I'm going to thread my machine and get started. So now I'm going to start doing feathers on feathers. I'm going to do just a standard feather. So I start by forming my first one, then branching off that onto the next one. then after a few, I decide to go and do some feathers branching off that one there. Once I've done that, I'll branch off again and just using the feather shape fill the area that we're focusing on. So now I'm looking at it and I want to quilt this area up here. So I'm going to do some feathers along there, which will get me near the area. And so, alright, now I want to fill here with some feathers. So I'm going to do one more of this one here and begin to branch off. Branch off that one. Now here to fill the area, I'm just going to echo out so I can continue with my feathers. And one thing about this motif that's really fun is that we can always echo our way out of trouble generally, which is really cool. Just like that, I'm now going to fill this area here. A little feather there to fill that. And then some more in there. Now, we're in an area where we think, oh no, we're stuck. What do we do? What we can now do is we can simply echo out. So now we're back in the open again. And we can create some more feathers. Okie. So now I'm just going to move the camera a little to show what we've just done. So just like that, branching off each other. If we get stuck, echoing our way out of trouble. Now I'm just going to show another feather that we can do this one with, and it's quite fun. So instead, I'm going to do feathers and swirls. And it doesn't always have to be feather swirl, feather swirl. You can mix it up to create your own effect that you'll be happy with. Now, I have this weird little area in here I need to fill. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to echo and do a swirl and then a feather. And then echo out of that area. More feathers. And then I'm just going to echo around some of that. So another feather. And notice here how I should have come to where I am now, but instead I went the wrong way. So instead I pivoted and I just echoed that. It's going to add a little bit of interest and that's completely fine. I'd rather have a bit of interest than having to unpick some quilting. That is for sure. Now with these swirls, we don't actually have to come all the way back to near where we started. We can actually do a half one and build off that one there. Okie dokie. So I'm going to just pull my bobbin thread up. Needle up, needle down. And I'm just going to clip those. Normally I'd tie off, but I'm just going to show what that looks like. So that's a fun variation with some different feathers. That's the one with just the normal feather. And then this one up here that I've rolled on from was the dipped feather. Well, that's the fun feathers. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have presenting it. Feathers were once something I was really scared of, but then after building up the confidence to play around with them, learning the different variations, they're something that I absolutely love to do, whether it be one motif of the feather or various motifs of the feather, and just playing around and just enjoying what the quilting has to offer. So don't forget to stick around and watch the other amazing presenters. Along with that, don't forget to stay safe, stay inspired, and stay quilting.
Hi everybody, it is April and I am here for the Fall Festival. I'm very excited to be presenting today. Make sure my hat's a little straight. And I want to share with you how you can take a panel and make it into a lap quilt. There are two reasons that I named my presentation Don't Be a Scarecrow, It's Only Fabric and Thread. One of the reasons is because my panel features a scarecrow. Now this panel is quite a large piece of material. So it is about 36 by 42. If you add some borders to this, you can quickly come up with a lap quilt. The reason I said don't be a scarecrow, it's only fabric and thread, is because I know that there are some people who are afraid that when they start to make something, they're going to make a mistake. And I don't want you to be afraid to start quilting because you're going to make a mistake. You're going to make a mistake. Don't worry about that. It's going to happen. They make seam rippers for a reason. But if you start out with a project that is easier and you can come out of the project with something that you're proud of, then you should be able to move on to bigger projects. I want you to feel comfortable that you're not going to make a mistake that you can't undo. So we want to take this panel, we are going to add some borders, and we are going to take that, we're going to make a quilt sandwich, and we're going to use our home-based machine along with a Grace hoop frame and quilt it. And you will be surprised at how easy it is. The first thing that we want to do is we're going to take our panel and we are going to cut off the selvage ends. So on each end of your panel, more than likely, you're going to have this selvage. We don't want to keep that on our panel. After we do that, we need to find some coordinating fabric that goes with our panel. Sometimes you can buy panels within a collection of fabric. This particular panel I just took to the fabric shop and I found some matches that I liked. One of the matches was this green. So I want some solids, and then I also wanted something with a little print that was kind of fun. So I found this toss that has scarecrows and squirrels and pumpkins and leaves and things that relate to what's on my panel. Then we have to decide what size we want our borders to be, and that all depends on how big you're going to make your quilt. So you could take this panel and make a queen size quilt if you wanted to, but today we're going to make more of a lap size quilt. I have decided that I wanted to cut out some of this green in about a 3.5 inch strip that I'm going to sew all the way around my panel. Once I do that, then I want to add this fun print border. Before you add your borders, you will want to know the measurement of the edge of your quilt. So since I start on the long side, I need to know how long my long side is. Now the first strip that I sew on, I should be fine because this is width of fabric. The second strip, I'm going to need to have more than one strip in order to make it the whole way along the long edge. What you want to do is you want to take 2 strips and just sew a seam joining them together. This will give you about 80 inches. Now this is going to be more than you need for that first long side of your fabric panel plus the other border. So what you will do is you will take what's left over from the first side, cut it off, and then you will sew it to another strip that's with the fabric so that you are using all of your fabric. Then when you get done with that, if you need more than just one strip of your with the fabric border for the top, you'll take what's left over from your second side and add it to another full with the fabric strip, and so on and so forth, so that you're using all the fabric that you have. So here's the panel with the added green, and it just kind of brings out the green that is also in your panel. Now I am going to take strips of the toss and I'm going to add those. So when I added the 3 inches, because my panel is 36 inches wide, I added a 3.5 inch border on each side. You have to take off a 1/2 inch for each side because that's your seam allowance. I use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'll have a 1/4 inch in between the panel and the strip, and then I'll have another 1/4 inch that I lose when I add this print to the other side of the strip. So essentially I can add 6 inches to the 36 inches, 3 inches on this side, 3 inches on this side, and I can come up with 42 inches. This strip is 4.5 inches. So again, I lose a 1/4 inch on each side, which means that I will be adding 4 inches to each side of my panel plus an existing border. So you can see how quickly you can make this quilt bigger. Once I add this, it's 8 inches to the 42, and that makes a 50-inch quilt. Then, of course, you're also adding to the top and the bottom when you add the border around the whole thing. So it's a quick quilt. Let me add my strips of fabric with the toss to the edge of this quilt and the border, and we'll see how it looks. Something that I like to do when I add my borders to my panel is, first of all, I will add a border on the long sides, so a border on the long side and a border on the long side, and then I add my top and bottom borders. I also like to kind of fold, let's see, I'm going to be touched. Okay, so I fold the quilt or the fabric like this and like this. So this border is exposed for me to add my next border, which is going to be this toss. So it will fold over and I will sew along this side. But I don't have a lot of excess hanging off. This gives me more control while I'm sewing. Just a little tip. I'll be using a 1/4 inch seam to sew. And as I go along, I'll make sure that my edges line up. I have put the scarecrow panel with the added borders on my design wall. And you can see how quickly it's growing. That's 56 inches long. So you can stop here, or you can just keep adding borders until it's as big as you want it. The next thing we need to do is we need to make a quilt sandwich. To make a quilt sandwich, you're going to need some free table space. You will also need an adhesive spray. I use a 505 adhesive spray by Otis. Your backing fabric will be the first thing that you lay down. Put a light bit of adhesive on that backing fabric. The next piece of your sandwich is going to be batting. Your backing and your batting should be bigger than your quilt top. So you will want that to stick out past the edge of your quilt top. And you'll want to make everything smooth. The nice thing about batting is your fabric wants to stick to it. So I'm going to fold forth my quilt top and keep my backing straight underneath. I'm going to spray some adhesive and then push my quilt top over the adhesive so it sticks. Here I have my quilt sandwich and my hoop frame. I have a Baby Lock Jazz 2 on my hoop frame, and I have a Sure Stitch Elite regulator so that I don't have to worry about using a foot pedal. So I place my sandwich on my hoop frame. The little hook goes on the front, and I can feel where the hooks are. Now, right now, I don't have anything to hook into because I'm at the beginning of my quilt. And the more fabric and quilt batting that you have at the top of your quilt sandwich, the easier it is to load. You want to make sure that this little elastic piece is secure Ask me how I know. Because if it is not, you can sew it onto your project. There are also clamps to go on the front. So I'm going to hook this in, and these can help you adjust your project. So I did a needle up, needle down to pull my bobbin thread through the top. I keep a pair of tweezers in case my bobbin thread isn't very long so that I can pull it up. And that's so that you don't have anything on the back of your quilt. I've got my foot down. If you don't put your foot down, you will have bad stitches on the back, and you won't realize it until maybe you've already gone all the way across because you didn't check the back. So I'm going to hit start, and you can hear it's stitching. I'm going to run a little basting stitch, and running the basting stitch allows me to check that my stitching is okay. This little basting stitch will be hidden behind my binding, so it will not show unless I inadvertently go too far out. All right, and then I'm going to run a basting stitch down the side. Now I am going to start to quilt my border and the area that I can reach. A loopy meander or a meander are my best friend. I'm just going to do a meander. So I'm making sure that my foot is down, and I'm going to click start on my stitch regulator, and I'm just going to slowly do a meander. And a meander is exactly what it sounds like. You are just meandering around your quilt. I have a variegated thread because I really like a variegated thread. I don't need to get in any big hurry. And I will slowly So I've come to the end of my row, and what I want to do is move my quilt up so that I can stitch my next row. And then I'm going to pull my quilt. I want some of my stitching to show. And then I'll use my sewing machine to help me determine exactly where I want to put my quilt. So I can still put the machine there and see that it's still able to quilt in that area. Not that I want to quilt in that area, but I don't want a gap in between my rows. So now I'm going to feel where my middle clip should go, because I can feel the hooks back there. I'll put my middle clip on. And then this fabric I will fold so that it is on the top of my clamp. That way I'm not building on the back, so I'm not going to impact my throat space right now. Eventually, and depending on how big your quilt is, your space will get smaller because even on the back you're going to have more fabric. But right now I'm good. Then I can also feel back here where this should go. It's going to go here. And you just learn over time how much area, how much you need to move your quilt. And I'll move this over here. So if I go here, I have to about right there that I can quilt. And I don't want to go quite that far because then I'm just going to be quilting a straight line. And what you can do is you can put a piece of tape right here to denote that you don't want to go to this line. All right, now I want to put my front clamps on. My back clamps are on. And then I'm going to hold this thread and do a little basting. That also tells me that I can't go any further. This time I'm going to make my meander a little bigger. I hope that this tutorial was helpful, and I hope that you will take the opportunity to find a cute little panel or a cute big panel, add some borders, and make a quilt. Don't be a scarecrow, it's only fabric and thread.
Hello, my name is Dara Thomason and I am the Free Motion Quilting Liberator. Today in our class, I'm going to be showing you free motion quilting pumpkins and leaves. And in that, there's going to be a couple of parts to this class. The first is I'm going to walk you through some main points of how to do the design. And then I'm going to show you how to put together a quilt sandwich for your table runner. So when you're learning to free motion quilt, I highly recommend that you use paper and pen. Whether you're going to quilt on a domestic machine or a long arm, the fact is you need to develop that muscle memory first. So just as a warm up, because I always like to do a warm up when you're doing free motion quilting, is I would just recommend you just write the alphabet without lifting your pen. Don't worry about the dotting the I's or crossing the T's, but just getting that flow and just starting to have that connection between I have a thought and I create this on paper. We want to create muscle memory and we want to take as much tension and as much pressure off as possible. That's super important. And so, and to warm up and just to give yourself that confidence, I would just go ahead and just start to do the alphabet and just see, oh my goodness, I'm free motion quilting right now. I'm just writing. I haven't lifted my pen. I'm just doing this. It's hard to do when you don't, because you're so ingrained to like do all the T's and dots and everything, but that's just gonna warm you up, okay? All right, so free motion quilting is, we are just embellishing or just stitching our projects. And because I am a free motion quilting liberator, because I love free motion quilting, I like to quilt with a lot of solids. Because solids, I just love how my stitching pops and how it just adds a whole other layer to my project that I never imagined. So being able to do fun things like this has brought me a lot of delight. Now, if you are a beginner, which I'm assuming you have some beginning to watching this, I would recommend using a busier print. So something like this, that's quite a busy print. It's a fun kind of fall fabric, or even something like this with this kind of color, or a polka dot or something. If you or even this one's super cute for a kitchen or something. But if you use a busy print, you would then use a finer thread. The higher the number, the thinner the thread. So I would recommend using like a 50 or a 60 weight on this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna walk you through the pumpkin. So we're going to just, the basic shape of a pumpkin, so we just come in like a kind of a heart, but it's like a rounded heart. And then we're going to come out and do our stem, peduncle, and then we're just gonna keep going around. And then we're gonna bring that, and then we're going to do our little curls. Now, so you see how I'm just doing one continuous line, I'm creating the shape of it, I'm visualizing it ahead of time, and then I'm gonna bring this little doodle, little swirly thing, and then I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna come again, I'm gonna bring it out, I'm going to create, and then again. Now, if you want to switch directions, you can do that. You can do the stem. It's a little bit harder because it's a little tricky to create that space. But this is your travel line, right? So you can travel, and you can create, you can do different sizes if you want. There's your peduncle. That was the funnest word. When my kids went to elementary school, kindergarten, they learned about the peduncle. So here we can do the stem this way, and then we can bring it down. You can only do 2 if you want. If that looks weird, you can just come back. So do you see what we're doing? Now, when you're doing pre-motion quilting also, we have to learn how to draw the design from different angles. But you don't have to do it now. And even maybe one of the ways to help you is even just to draw, just bring it in and on an angle. And then we do this angle. And then we come in like this. And then you practice. And then again, the angle, so we have to visualize, okay, I'm bringing it in. Here's my stem. Right, so you can just practice. All right, this really is the name of the game, is practice. Now, so here we have the pumpkins. So again, we come around, and then we do it in half, and then we have our stem, and then we bring it around. We bring it around, around, around. If we even wanted to embellish that way, we could, and then we just come around like that, okay? So we just slow it down and we talk about it. Now, so that's our pumpkin. Now I'm gonna go through, now this is this fun kind of leaf. So we're going oak leaf. So we're gonna do the stem first. Now I like to bring the stem up and then bring the stem down. And then we're going to do like a nice curve and come into it. You can do a pointy top and then come back into it, okay? So one of the tips that I'm gonna share with doing, when you create these shapes, I want you to visualize what it reminds you of. This one kind of reminds me of not a dilly bar, but an ice cream bar from McDonald's or from Dairy Queen. So you know how it has this kind of look to it? And there's the ice cream cone. So when you can visualize something and you're like, oh, that's what it looks like, that's gonna help you create that design. Now a leaf, and so one of the suggestions I gave on the handout is go for a walk in nature and go and look at the leaves, because every leaf is different. So even if you wanted, you could bring your design like this, and then you can close it off, and then you can join. See how this one I came down and around, this one I came up, and then I use that to launch my design. I could do the same thing here, and I could have my leaf. But with here, I'm bringing this down, and then I'm gonna come and I'm going to create my design this way. So I have so many choices. You travel on the lines. So if I wanted, I could travel back on this line, and then I could create kind of a doodad here, and then I can come here, and I can create a leaf here, and then I could do the same. I could branch this off this way. See how I'm just having fun with saying, like, where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? So I just travel with my lines. And again, if I want to come around this way, and then if I want to travel this way, I can do that. And I can travel along here. And I can just decide. If I want to come back around and come and launch off that way, I can, okay? I'm going to now just show you how you lay out your fabric to spray baste and get it ready. I've laid out my table runner, and what I'm doing is I'm going to place my pumpkins side by side all across from the table runner, okay? So I'm just going to measure them approximately the same size and just put them side by side by side. And then I'm going to just do an outer border with the leaves. One of the things you can do to help you, especially because this is a beginner project, is to measure the width of your table runner and then approximate how big you want your pumpkins. I do recommend you use marking pencils. I don't recommend that you trace them, just because what happens if you trace, it just becomes you're just getting really stressed out about making sure that you're following the lines properly. Whereas I want you just to focus on the flow. And if you've done enough of the doodling, then that's going to be helpful. Okay, so I'm just going to show you an update on how this is going. So I have my 5 little pumpkins side by side, and then see how I'm using the tendrils to just join them. And then I do the same thing and joining them to the leaves. So I bring it in, I come up, I go down one side, and then I come back the other side, and then I join them, and then I bring it up, I come back that side, and then I come up this side. And I'm just gonna follow along. So this is what I want you to be practicing doodling. Thank you for coming to this class. It was really fun to prepare it for you. I want to encourage you to share all of your pictures. Even sharing your doodles will be super helpful. I would love you to ask me any questions, and you have an amazing fall day. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome. We are super excited to be here today with you. We are doing True Cut and costuming. My name is Janessa and this is Devin. Really excited to have Devin here. He has kind of a unique background.
Yeah, I managed costume shop, kind of went from retail into marketing into events, and now I'm here at the Grace Company as an event coordinator.
Devin had the great idea to use our True Cut for something that maybe isn't used as often for. So what are we doing here today?
So we are going to be doing some costuming. Yeah, Halloween's just around the corner. I always got the question, what can I do if I can't sew? Like, I either feel like I can buy a prepackaged costume, which can get really expensive, or like I could sew one from scratch, but I don't know how to sew. So today, using True Cut and our creativity and ingenuity, we're going to piece together a costume.
We're not going to be doing any sewing for this costume.
Yep, no sewing. You don't have to sew to have a great costume for Halloween. So I wanted to be a werewolf. That's what I'm doing. Spoiler alert. So to start out, we're going to be using pants. So what we're going to be doing is just really going to town on cutting them up. Werewolves, they rip through their clothes, they're messy. I already did one leg, kind of went through with the cutter and just had a fun time, just slicing stuff up. And then we're gonna put a couple of little cuts throughout as well. We're gonna stick fur in through those, so.
And a lot of times when we're using our True Cut cutting system, they really are super safe, easy, and accurate. With this, accuracy, like you just kind of go crazy, right? You don't have to worry as much about being perfect.
But what one should we show off first?
Ooh, I love our ergonomic cutter. I would say the 45mm cutter is probably our most popular and my personal favorite of our cutters.
Perfect.
Take it away.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take off our safety. And there's no rhyme or reason here. We're just gonna start cutting at it. This is a great way to get some of your aggression out if you're having a rough fall.
Frustrated.
Just slice that up. The wolf was running through some bramble bushes, and oh, there was a bush, and there was a bush. And look at that. Look how fun that is.
Oh, I love it.
Do you want to get some aggression out?
Oh,
Do a couple
I've got
little...
a lot, you know.
Perfect.
How am I doing? Am I
You're
passing
doing
the
great.
test?
You're doing great.
This
Again, the
goes
more frame, the better.
against like everything within me as a quilter of what I should be doing. But you know, I gotta say it's a lot of fun.
It is fun.
I'm enjoying it. I think it looks fantastic.
Perfect. So we're going to leave it at that. And then the other thing that we're going to do with these pants is, like I said, you can kind of see I put a little hole in them. I'm going to do that in a couple of places, and then we're going to stick fur out of it. And I want to use TrueCut again for this. I mean, obviously you can probably use anything. Just tear it.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
I'm going to
put it on the side because I was like, it's going to cut through the front and the back.
No, yep.
Genius. Love it.
We're just going to kind of fold it and just do a little bit of a slice right there. And look.
Ta-da.
How many of these do we want? What's your favorite number that's under
4.
5? 4. Great.
4 is my lucky number.
Perfect. So I'm gonna do one up closer to the thigh.
There really is just like no planning, no pattern.
No.
It's just going for it.
It's just, what do you think will look cool? What do you think will feel
awesome.
cool? That's the fun of Halloween.
So when you're kind of prepping and planning for a project like this, do you kind of already have a vision in your head? Do you like get it down on paper?
So I like to do a lot of research. So I was trying to look at, pictures of what have people done for werewolf? What's gonna read as werewolf? But yeah, I try to think, what's gonna be good without going over the top. But a lot of it's just trying it. Like I think any kind of creative endeavor, you can't get too focused on perfection because a lot of it's just trial and error. But you always learn new things as you're going, and you always pick up a new skill, or you have something to show for it, and then you just keep going. You just keep doing the creative stuff, whatever it is. So.
Love that. I want to take on that skill from you as a recovering perfectionist. I struggle with that. I'm like, I just want it to be just right. But yeah, I think this is a lot of fun. It'll be cool to see how it turns out.
We've done all of the cutting on the pants that we're going to. I think 4 little pockets is great. Got our tattered legs, and now we're gonna start putting fur out. So I have 2 different types of fur. I wanted to do kind of an ombre type effect.
Awesome.
That's my fancy word for the day. Ombre means a color gradient, right? We're gonna use the lighter fur for the pants. I'm gonna do a little bit on the belt, and then we're gonna use this darker fur for the shoulders and the arms, so kind of up top. We're gonna start with the stuff that we're doing for the pants.
And I'll be honest, my immediate reaction is, this is super thick. I don't think I've ever used TrueCut or a cutter to cut through something this thick.
I was like, well, you know what? You don't know till you try. So we're gonna try it, and I think we're gonna be pretty impressed. So first off, we're gonna make a belt for this, and it's literally just going to be a strand of fur. So we are going to lay this out like you would your fabric, but we're gonna cut it on the back side, because that's what's really gonna be cut through.
Oh, gotcha.
It's gonna be a mess if we try to do it from the other side. But just lay it out on your cutting mat, the way that you normally would do any kind of fabric. So I'm gonna just pull that up, and I'm just gonna make a little mark at the 2 inches.
Perfect.
So I kind of know that's where I'm starting. I'm just gonna kind of roughly go across it.
Oh. And how'd she do?
Look at that.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Look how clean that cut is.
Prove me wrong.
I know. All right, and we're just gonna pull this across, because again, this is a long piece of fabric.
And I love that it's still, even though we're not using the track and guide, it's got that nice lip on the ruler, so it's gonna keep your fingers safe. Almost there. Oh, we are making a mess.
Project's off the way.
There's fur everywhere.
This is not for the super clean, just so you know. You've got to be willing to get a little bit messy. I personally vacuum this. All right, so again, let's go on. And that makes it like you don't even feel that you're cutting when you do it that way.
Even through this super thick fur.
Even through the fur. Like this didn't feel thick at all. This just felt like regular fabric. So yeah, so look how clean that is. This is going to be our belt. It's going to go through the pant loop. And hopefully, my hope is that it kind of creates so it blends the fur and the top. That's what we're going to use for that.
Awesome.
So that's one piece that we're doing with this lighter fur. The other thing is we're going to do the fur for the little holes that we made in the pants. Again, we're really just winging it on this. we just kind of want to measure roughly how much fur that we need. So yeah, not super long. We're just going to cut a little thing. Do you want to cut those for me? We need about 4 of those.
4 of them. I'm going to see. Let's see if our 45 millimeter is going to cut through this.
Great.
Okay, so I'm going to latch on our tracking guide. Let's see, 45 millimeter cutter. Oh my gosh. This is lovely. Look at that.
Look
okay.
at that.
Ooh, it's so exciting.
You're doing
I
it.
did it.
You're
Okay.
doing it.
We're done with that for now?
We're done with this fur.
Okay.
So go ahead and cut that into 4 little chunks. And the nice thing is too, we have plenty of fur if we mess
We
up.
do. We've
It's
got
not a big
one
deal.
extra
We've got
patch
4
there.
pieces. So we're actually going to do something with these on top of just cutting these out, because these aren't going to glue very well to our pants. So we want to put them on a little piece of fabric.
Just kind of like the backing, right?
Yep, that's going to be the backing. So, you know, we'll put the fur on, and then we'll actually glue around this part, and that's what will stick to the inside of the,
Got
of
it.
the pant.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to put these on just wherever. Again, people are like, don't waste the fabric. All right, so I'm just going to cut around that again. I'm going to use this. And no measuring, just feeling it. We got 1. Very therapeutic to just cut stuff.
Right? So satisfying.
All right, so now's the fun part, glue. It's all the fun
And what
part.
kind of glue is this? I don't know if I've ever used
This
something
is
like
fabric glue. So you can get
Okay.
this at any fabric store. I'm sure even at the big superstores that sell different fabric and crafting supplies, you'll be able to get fabric glue.
Awesome.
So this is really simple, really easy to use. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back here. Again, no precision, just living life to the fullest. Stick that on there. Just let that sit.
How long does it take to dry? Is it pretty quick?
It's pretty quick.
Can I try?
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
allowed? Just
By
for
the
fun?
time that we've gone through and gotten these all glued on, we're going to be ready to stick them on the pants. Good job.
Did I
Have
pass?
you glued before?
I used to be an elementary school teacher, so
What?
I have
You're a
certainly
professional.
certainly glued before.
Have you ever glued fabric before, though?
I think this is the first for me, especially
You're
for
a true sewer.
yes.
So we've kind of made these little patches. We're going to stick them in the pants. So we're going to flip this inside out. We're going to find where those cuts are. And we're just going to stick it right there so it kind of sticks out the cut and glue around the edges.
Oh, awesome.
So we could probably tag team this. And I'll do one side and you do the other side and we'll just
Okay.
pass the glue back and forth.
Perfect.
Perfect. Look how precise you are. I'm just like... Our next step is the top. We've finished up everything on the pants, and now we're going to move to the top half of our werewolf. So I bought this shirt online, which I love. I think it's so funny, but it was kind of plain. Like, I mean, it'd probably work if you didn't want to do anything to it, but I wanted to add some fur to the shoulders. I wanted to add some fur to the elbows, just to have some tufts of fur kind of popping off around it. That's what we're going to cut out next.
All right.
We're going to use this darker fur, and we're going to use some of the TrueCut tools in a way that you might not have thought of before. The circle cutter. So I needed to cut out some round shapes because I wanted it to look a little bit more organic. Unfortunately, the circle cutter, this was a little bit too thick for that.
Yeah, the blade on that cut through 4 layers of folded fabric, but again, this is pretty intense.
But I realized, I was like, oh, how am I going to cut this circle that I want to do? And we have this tracking system on all of the TrueCut rulers. There's this little lip, if you can see it, that the cutters just hook onto and you get your perfectly straight lines. Well, in that design, I don't know who had the foresight for this, but they actually made a little bit of a lip on the circle cutter. So I used that to use that tracking system with the cutter to make a rounded edge.
I don't think that was intentional. It's a little bit smaller, but yeah, I love that it will work for this too. It's awesome.
I'm going to use the smaller one just so I can get around that edge a little bit.
And he's using our 45 millimeter My Comfort cutter. We also have a 28 millimeter comfort cutter, which would be probably pretty nice for these curves and stuff too. So
we're going to just press down. And you can hear that cut happening.
Oh my gosh. I can honestly say I think this is the first time I've ever seen this being used. I'd love to hear in the comments, what are some of the kind of new innovative ways that you guys have been using your TrueCut products?
So we're going to flip this around to the other side. And again, this isn't what it was made for, so it's not a perfect cut, but it's enough to get the round feeling that we're wanting. Yeah.
Oof, you're making me nervous.
Always be safe. I'm trying really hard to not get over anxious and keep my fingers, keep those digits out of the way. But it does actually, it makes, you know, a pretty good little round side through our fur, which is exactly what I wanted. I just want something that's gonna go on my little elbow and make it look like I have furry elbows. So we're gonna do a second one. Do you wanna try that out?
Sure, let's go for it.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Okay, here we go. So we're using our, not made for it, but our innovative track and guide system for our 360 circle cutter, which is great.
The new circle cutter with fur cutting circle feature. You need a little bit of force. Again, it's fur and it's going at an angle, but it's actually not too bad.
Working all right.
Oh, look how good yours is. I can already tell. It's not about the journey. It's about the destination.
It's not perfect.
It doesn't need to be.
It'll do.
But here's the nice thing too, is that the fur fluffs out, so it's gonna cover some of those edges.
I love it.
And it's gonna be great. It's gonna look like just a little tuft of fur. So that's the first piece that we're cutting out of this fur. Next, we're gonna do the shoulder pieces. And this will be a little bit easier. Yeah, thank you. So for the shoulder pieces, I just wanted to do this ruler that we have. What is this ruler called? The kite ruler. Oh, that makes sense. It looks like a kite. So I thought, hey, this will be a good shape to kind of
that's perfect.
Put on my shoulders. So we're gonna use that. That's the best way to cut this where I'm not wasting the most amount of fur.
There we go. Here, while you're working on that, if you don't mind that I showed, these are our quick release cutters. So all you do is you're just going to pop it just like that, and then you can easily swap it to the other side, and then just pop it back on. Really great and easy and convenient for you. And ta-da! Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Isn't that a fun little shape right there?
I love that.
I'm just gonna kind of line it up against that edge and cut it there.
Yeah, that works.
I think that's about as good as we'll get on that. And flip this again.
Another thing I'd love to hear in the comments, what is kind of the most unique, maybe non-quilting project that you've done with your TrueCut cutting tools? I would love to hear that.
Okay, so we've cut that. Now, I don't want these fur pieces to be like straight up triangles because I don't know a lot about werewolves, but I don't think their fur grows at a precise angle. I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of the edging just to try and make it a little bit of a more natural curve. It's not so much precise little corners. And I think that will make it look like more of a natural fur patch. All right, so for this next part, we're gonna attach it. We're gonna attach all of this to the shirt. I'm gonna put the shirt on so that it lays in the right space.
Okay.
And you're gonna glue it directly to me.
Okay. Wow, look at you and your six-pack. It's fabulous.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna need your help with putting this on. I'd use like a mannequin or something, but not everyone has.
How many
frames
were there
I
total?
wanna make sure that it was laying right as we glue it on.
So we're gonna start with the shoulders?
We're gonna start with the shoulders. We're gonna do our best not to struggle with this glue. But yeah, just kind of do a nice perimeter, a little bit in the middle. It doesn't have to be thick. We want to make sure that the edges go down and that it has some support, but I don't have to make it overly gloppy.
Oh no, this is a lot of pressure.
Don't slip. Ooh, it's cold.
Is it? Is it coming through?
I feel the glue seeping into my bones.
I think it looks all right. Oh, don't move your arm. Don't move. The glue is drying.
I gotta stay still while the glue dries.
Yes, you stay. Mannequin status.
Doing great.
Keep working on my hand strength. Okay. Oh, it's getting a little messy. There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, I gotta make sure they're lining up. Oh, I'm so nervous. This is a
nervous.
lot of pressure.
It's not.
Your Halloween depends on this.
All right, how does that look? Do I have nice furry shoulders?
You just can't do this.
Move,
yeah, it's gotta dry.
All right.
I think it looks lovely.
Are you ready to do the elbows?
Oh, I'm ready. Should we do one at a time so it doesn't dry too fast? Okay.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe kind of like at a light there.
A little bit of a
little
curve.
bit, just so that when you do bend, it won't totally
smart.
fall off.
Planning ahead. We'll let it sit for a second and
That'll
we'll do the other one. And we're just about there, really.
Wow.
Got the other one on there.
All right, let's see. Let me see the full ensemble.
How does it feel? Do I feel furry enough? Do I need any fur patches anywhere else, or do you feel like this?
I think that looks good. I think we should see the full look, and then we can decide from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, let's see it.
Change. Alrighty.
Wasn't that so much fun? So you can see that TrueCut cutting system really is for any of your crafting, sewing, quilting needs, and it really is just a lot of oh my God. Oh, I love it.
It's just me.
It turned out amazing.
Thanks, yeah. Didn't the ombre turn out
Oh,
nice?
it's lovely. I seriously love it.
Thank you. Well, as you can see, with some creativity, some ingenuity, and your TrueCut system, you're gonna have an awesome Halloween. Happy Halloween.
That was great.
It was. That costume looked like so much fun to make. And at the very end, when we saw the finished result, it just looked so easy. I could do that.
Right? I love the cutting when he made it look so easy on the cutting part and then patching it up, like cutting through the thickness too. A lot of people wonder how thick they can cut with our cutters, and he was just showing right there how thick he could do it with.
Yes, it was amazing. And with any person with any skill level, if they can make something like that, then go for it.
Yep.
If you think you don't have any skill, still go for it, because you're still going to have fun doing it, and hopefully you'll love the finished result.
That's right. Well, let's not be rude and introduce ourselves. We just went straight into that wonderful segment. You've probably already seen us before. My name is Mark, and joining me is...
Hi, I'm Melinda.
Yeah. And we're so happy. Not so happy because it's the end of day 3, but we had a fantastic day. So many wonderful stories. I love listening to Jackson when he was doing those feathers. He was just making them look so easy.
He does, and it's so mesmerizing watching. And it's like, how do you do that? Because my feathers, I will tell you, I'll be the first to admit they look awful. And I know I need more practice, and maybe I'll rewatch and, maybe, I don't know, I have to work on my feathers. I'll rewatch and practice some more, and maybe one day I'll be as good as Jackson.
Well, I was talking with Jackson. He came with us to one of our local shows, and he was just explaining how easy those are, Melinda. And you just need to do it. A lot of people have your same thought, right? And maybe fear on quilting. So if you haven't done feathers or free motion as often, just practice and do them, because they get easier over time. Much like anything you've done on your quilting journey, when you started somewhere, you end up making that an easier process over time. So just get started, don't worry about it, and you have fun.
Oh, exactly. And I tell myself that, and I tell customers that all the time. We're going to be our own worst critics. It doesn't matter if it's quilting or if it's something else. But the more we do it, the easier it's going to get, the better we'll be, and love and appreciate the work that we're doing.
That's right. All right, we have a lot of people joining and staying with us. So thank you if you stayed with us the entire day. We appreciate it. We have a lot of great content, a lot of wonderful stories, especially like the last one with Janessa and Devin. So it was so fantastic. But we love seeing where people are coming from. So a lot of hi to Melinda and myself. So thank you. So continue to put your comments in there. We would love to post them on for everybody to see. Plus any questions you may have or any thoughts you've had during this segment. Speaking of thoughts, I'm curious, what have been your best videos you watched, or what have you got out from today's day number 3?
For day 3, I'm gonna go back to feathers with Jackson, because I know it's something I want to master and get better at and be good at. And I know with a little bit more practice, going back and, rewatching that video, and probably some others as well, I'll get there. But it's very inspiring. He's a self-taught quilter. He shared that with us at a local show here. And, he's so young and so passionate about quilting, and he loves what he does. So, if anybody can do it, if Jackson can do it, I can do it. So can everybody else.
That's right. He had to start somewhere.
Have to start somewhere, yes.
Okay. So I like the trunk shows. Yes, absolutely. Trunk shows is not, I love seeing the different variety of quilts in those trunk shows.
Yeah, see, there's
so many quilts. There's so much talent.
There is.
That's out there.
So
And
much
it's so
talent.
inspiring, especially for newer quilters like myself. I've been with the Grace Company a little over a year and a half, right around that time frame. I've worked on a couple of small projects, nothing too big, but I have a stash of fabric at home, Mark. I want to jump into that and, you know, really make a memorable quilt. It'll be a memorial quilt, but that's going to be my goal for this upcoming year, and hopefully next year, next Fall Festival, maybe, fingers crossed, I can share, you know, what I've done with everybody else.
Well, that's a good goal. So hopefully you can accomplish that goal. 'Cause that's
I
a
hope
good one
so.
right there. So Crystal, I love the quilt history with Julie Silber, and the skirt segment was amazing. Yeah, it was. You know, watching with Courtney and Jarek, it was great to see how easy it was, what they were doing. So, and again, you know, they were just learning as well, or she was just learning to do that when she started with Grace. And so again, start somewhere and finish something.
Yes, and that's the key thing. Make sure you finish. We don't want, you know, all the UFOs taking up space in our closets, in our bins, or under beds, or anywhere else. Let's finish those UFOs.
That's right. Another great comment came in was the scarecrow section. I don't know if you had a chance to watch some of that.
I did, and I loved that panel. It was such a cute panel. She made it look fun, and I loved how she explained everything, you know, of making your quilt sandwich, you know, attaching the fabric to the frame. She went step by step by step. The instructions were clear and easy, and just the project, overall, it was the cutest little thing, and I want that fabric panel.
That's right. If you missed any of these wonderful segments, you can go back and re-watch them because they have been great, a lot of great information, and so don't miss out. If you were at work or missed any part of it, then you have a chance to go back and re-watch it. So, yeah, I think that was Noreen. Noreen mentioned, you know, enjoyed it all. So thank you again for those who've been watching it. It's been fantastic. As we end today, there's a lot of wonderful information, Melinda, right? We talked about, you know, feathering and starting and your own journey, your quilting, your piecing. Where are you at in your journey? Think about the tools that you're using. And now Grace Company, we have a lot of wonderful prices happening now, especially this month. We have wonderful prices. So wherever you're in your journey, consider some of the tools needed to accomplish your journey even further. You know, especially we talk about those UFOs you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what can help you along your journey? What will make that process easier? What would make it more fun? We have, again, those prices that we can definitely upgrade from what you're using, whether it's your notions, your cutting. We just saw Devin use our comfort cutter and how easy that was to use our ergonomic cutter in our True Cut line, right?
Yes.
Courtney piecing all of her stuff together, then quilting it with our machine, and how easy it was for her to go around and do the long arm quilting. So wherever you're at in your journey, consider a couple things, you know, whether you have the space for a larger frame, whether you have the budget to upgrade. You know, we have the product for you. Reach out to us or a local dealer. All of our local dealers have these prices, and we have awesome dealers who take care of their customers.
Yes, exactly. And you know, Mark, for the time that I've been here with the Grace Company for this fall festival, these prices are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen prices this low. It's like, are we crazy? Like, what are we thinking, you know, with these such awesome deals? And it's not only us that have the deals, it's all of our wonderful dealers, you know, sharing with our monthly promotions. October is going to be a fantastic month for everybody. You know, great prices, bottom line prices for our customers. Having the ability to work with local dealers and, you know, being able to take a part of what our dealers may offer, you know, to their local customers. It's a great time, you know, whether you're in the market for a new machine or a frame or notions, what have you. There's some phenomenal deals out there.
Yep. you probably hit it on the nose. Crazy is probably a good word, and you can't have deals without crazy, right? Deals, crazy, they go hand in hand. So absolutely, our deals are crazy, crazy awesome. So take advantage of this month with our prices. Let's go ahead and go through our promotions we have going on.
Okay.
But before, well, let's go ahead and start with the $34.99 16X manual price. Now, this is our newest machine, right? The 16X manual. Now, with it being $34.99 with the free frame, this is a manual machine, so it's not stitch regulated, but definitely the larger throat and very easy to maintain your stitches with this new machine. Fantastic with the lighting that you get underneath. Just has a lot of wonderful features. And again, that 16-inch throat is massive.
You know, I spoke with a customer on the phone earlier today, and we were talking about this exact machine. And I don't recall exactly what home machine she has at home that she's currently using, but with the 16X, that manual machine, it's really mimicking exactly how your domestic at-home machine would work on a quilting frame, minus the foot pedal. So again, you're basically controlling the speed, everything just with your free motion quilting. So it's a great entry level machine for somebody coming directly from a domestic home machine into the mid-arm range.
That's right. But we also have a lot of other wonderful, and I don't know if you know how to get there or not. If you go to our Grace Frame website, you can get there, and then right at the top there, you hit the Shop Now. And when we hit Shop Now, it will take us right to our deals. And so what we'll do is let's start from top to finish, or top to bottom. And we'll start with the Cutie frame at $5.89. And so this is a flash sale that will end, I believe, the 16th of October. So $5.89, you get the Cutie frame. We've been talking about this Cutie frame for a long time. Journey, I go back to the journey. Think about where you're at, what you're using. If you're sitting down, let the Cutie replace that sit down process. Put it in your home, put it in your RV, put it wherever's comfortable for you for your quilting journey, and you put your own machine on this wonderful Cutie frame. So Cutie frame at $5.89, when it's only 4 feet, it can go with you, it can travel with you. You can do any size of quilt. So there's no limit for this. It is, just like it says, it's cute, it's a cutie, and it goes on any table. So take advantage of that $5.89 price.
And that flash sale, oh my, again, we're crazy selling the frame at that price. But we want everybody out there to have one and to love it. So now's your chance to get one.
That's right. And all of our frames are on sale. So if the Cutie isn't right for you, again, these questions I'm asking you, I want you to ask yourself, you know, what space do I have? Do I want to go bigger? Do I want comfort? The Cutie and our hoop frames is a hooping mechanism frame. So you hoop your fabric around. That is how you can do the large quilts, right, Melinda? So if you have only a small room, you can put your 4-foot Cutie in there to do large quilts. You're hooping it around. And we get a lot of customers who really enjoy that aspect because it's easier. Managing the fabric is much easier on that process.
It is, it is.
So the next one is the $9.89 frame. So this is our hoop frame at $9.89. And it is also another hoop style frame that you can do any size of quilt. So this is $9.89, normally it's $1,700. This one does have legs, so you do need a dedicated spot for this frame. As we go down, we also have our Continuum frame. This is our rolling rail professional frame. It can be purchased in an 8-foot, 10-foot, or 12-foot frame with the rolling rail process. And so this is kind of what's standard in the industry is a rolling rail, but you have to have room for those particular size of quilts. Okay. And then we have our Q-Zone Queen at $1,200 to round up our frames. Now, elevate your quilting. We've talked about that with our 16s, right, Melinda? These series of machines are offered in a manual, a 16X, and a 16X Elite. The X and the X Elite, Melinda, are all stitch regulated. which continues to keep your stitches the same length through your quilting process.
Exactly. So going back to the customer I mentioned that I talked to earlier, she was very interested in all of the different models, but she knew for her budget and her price range and kind of getting into that mid-arm with what she knows and what she's comfortable with, and that's her domestic machine.
Yep.
So again, later down the road, it's certainly an option to upgrade. If you're able to go right into one of those regulated machines, you're gonna love it. I love the lighting features on those machines. With sewing, with quilting, there's no such thing as having too much light. And with the light being adjustable, the advancements, the stitching speed, these are just phenomenal machines for the pricing.
They are. And it gets better because we're talking about our 16X series. Those machines come with a frame. So you can choose between the Cutie, the Hoop, or the Q-Zone Queen. Any one of those 3 frames you get for free with the purchase of our 16X series. Our 16X Elite is normally $59.99.
Yes.
You can get it during this month for $1,000 off for $49.99 with the free frame. So you're talking about right at $5,000 to own a 16-inch regulated machine with the free frame. And again, these deals are also offered through our dealers. If you're close to our dealer, go to them and they'll take care of you as well. But that's unbelievable with these machines. You can go on our website to learn more about those machines, but take advantage of, I see a lot of comments like, oh, I need the 16, I want the 16. Now is the time to do it, especially if that's what you're already saying, oh, I want the 16. Don't pass up this wonderful opportunity of getting the free frame.
And Mark, I want to remind everybody, not all of our dealers may offer financing, but I think a vast majority do. So if you don't have the cash flow, right up front, there are certainly financing options available, again, with many of our dealers, and even directly with us. So, give us a call if you have questions, reach out to your local dealer. We'll be able to, between us and the dealer, we'll be able to help get you set up with the machine that you choose.
Yep, absolutely. More importantly, these prices are fantastic. We're going to talk about our 19X Elite here shortly, but I just want to bring up the service you're going to get, the experience you're going to get by going through Grace Company. And I'm sure a lot of those who are watching, purchase something from companies who had great customer service, and that's what continues to take us to those types of companies, right? How they're being taken care of. The Grace Company is no exception. When you go through the Grace Company, we've been doing this for over 35 years, right, Melinda? We've been taking care of all of our quilters, we've been taking care of our dealers, and it's just a joy to see the love, the facial expressions, the stories that we get from you. Continue to bring those in. We love to hear those as well. But you're going to get that experience. You're going to be taken care of. You're going to have great customer support. You're going to have technical support. You're going to have sales support. Everybody in this company, whether they're in engineering, they're in marketing, they're in sales, they're in leadership, we all love our customers, and it shows by how we take care of them. We know things can happen, right, Melinda? Packages can come in a little damaged or products missing. Allow us to have an opportunity to make those right, and we will in a heartbeat. So the experience, I want to make sure you guys are aware, is fantastic through the Grace Company.
Exactly. And Mark, I think I've said this before on some other segments. We go to shows, several shows throughout the year, and multiple times at different shows. I've had, a random customer walk up and kind of interrupt the conversation with a potential new customer. And it's that existing customer, they just want to tell this potential new customer how great we are. They love our customer service. They love how we take care of them. They love our product. And it's so amazing to hear that because, any other industry, any other product, I don't think I've ever been stopped or been told how great a company was. And it's just amazing that show after show after show, phone call after phone call after phone call. It's resounding. It's the majority of our customers feel that strongly about the Grace Company and our products.
Yep. And we never get tired of hearing all of that.
No.
We talk about these wonderful promotions, these prices. We could put a price on the machine, we put a price on our frame. you cannot put a price on customer service. You know, there's no value on the customer service. And so that offer is just, you can't put a price on there. And so again, I love these comments coming in. You know, I love my experience with Grace. You know, thank you, Kathy. I saw the few other ones that are popping up on the screen. So truly appreciate it. It truly keeps our dealers and ourselves in business when we take care of the customers, because again, you are our first priority. And we love doing this for the quilters. We love having these wonderful deals. More importantly, we love that the stories shared from the product being made from being a Grace product. And so just again, think about where you're at in your journey and how Grace can help with that. You know, where can we help? Is it a frame? Is it a machine? Are they accessories? You know, whatever it is along your journey, we have that for you.
Exactly. And you know, one last quick item I want to touch up on, if you have an older frame, you know, just like any other company, any other product, you know, certainly products are going to be, in a sense, stopped production, you know, for those older products. If you have an older product, if you've been considering, you know, how do I continue to make my frame work? How do I Frankenstein it? What do I do? Now is a great time with these awesome October promotions to get into a new frame. Again, we can help you direct here at the Grace Company. Many of our authorized dealers nationwide can certainly help get you upgraded into something new, something that, you know, if something happens, you know, we'll have parts available. Some of these older frames, you know, just unfortunately, we no longer have some of those parts. And it's always so sad, you know, talking to those customers that they love their old frames. We loved those frames too, but, you know, there comes a point you kind of have to move on. And, you know, if you can Frankenstein it, great. But with these awesome prices, let's see what we can do to get you into a new frame.
That's right. I call that process like MacGyvering, right? Those of us who know MacGyver back in the day who fixed everything with duct tape and a screw or a bolt or whatever he did, you know, that's what I call it. But if you're in that process and that's what you're looking to do, come to us first, and we have wonderful frames that we can upgrade from the previous frames. Okay, I can talk about our customer service all afternoon, but I want to go ahead and finish some of these wonderful deals because I want to do some Plinko giveaways, and we have 2 major giveaways we still got to do before the end of our segment is over with. And yes, there's questions coming in. I saw one question about the automation. We'll talk about the automation because it is on sale, and yes, it works with our 16, and yes, it works with our, so there's that Will Quilt Motion upgrade be on sale through the 16th. So it is on sale. Yep.
It is.
We'll talk about that. It's a major on sale. I think it's like 30% off, which we look at it.
30% off. And again, it's one of those products, Quilt Motion, automation, even the gold card. Like they hardly ever go on sale, hardly ever go on promotion. But here we are, 30% off. And we're crazy, but...
Well, sales and crazy go together, right?
They do.
If you're going to have a sale, make it crazy. And so we see right there on the screen, 30% off. And that is with our beginnings, with our pro, with our upgrade. And that upgrade is those who have beginnings. They can go ahead and get the pro for that upgrade. And then the gold card. Gold card is compatible only with our QCT5 Pro. So if you have that pro version, you can upgrade to the gold card. And gold card, you unlock so many wonderful features, new patterns, new way of quilting. And so just check that out. So yes, you can do that.
And I do just want to remind people, double check the compatibility. So yes, you have to have the Quilt Motion Pro, but also check the compatibility of your machine with that gold card.
Yep,
so
exactly. One last thing I'll say about automation, because automation could also scare people away, right?
Yes.
I mean, when you hear the word free motion or long arm, some of those words scare customers away, like, oh, I don't do free motion, or it's hard, or long arming is hard. Again, all of our products, from our automation to our long arm, to our mid arm, to our frames, are all very user friendly. We understand it's not fun to buy a very useful product just to have a head scratcher all the time, right? You're scratching your head, or you're trying to open the manual to find out what you got to do next. And so these products are very easy to use. If you're new to quilting, if you're looking to upgrade or purchase our automation, then do so. Don't let the word automation or quilt motion scare you from your journey on progressing to the next level.
Right, exactly.
All right, so the 19X Elite. The 19X Elite is $76.99. So if we can pull the 19X Elite, there it is. Yeah, I love the 19X Elite. It is, again, one of our newest machines. 7-inch screen, 19 inches of awesomeness. You have all the touch buttons on your handlebars. You can see the screen perfectly. You can touch the screen. It has edge warning. It has the 4 different stitch modes. It has lighting. It has the manuals built in. The list goes on with what this machine has. For $76.99, you also get a free frame of your choosing from the Cutie, from the Q-Zone frames. And then if you want to upgrade to the rolling rail frame, it's only $7.89 to upgrade to the professional Continuum 8-foot, 10-foot, or 12-foot frame. So I love the Qunique 19X Elite. And to round up our machines, we're going to go ahead to our long arm 21X Elite, Melinda. How much do you love this machine and why?
You know, I love this machine. I love the length of the throat. I feel I can accomplish any project. Maybe not feathers yet, but just with again, that throat length, the ease of the machine, it just glides across the frame. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't drag. It really is just a dream working with that machine on our frames.
Yep. And I love what Kay said. Great time to make a purchase. And then Tammy, I would love the 21X Elite. That is an amazing machine. It is on sale again for $1,000 off, so $84.99 with the free Continuum frame. Sure, that's a price, that's an investment. As Melinda said earlier, there is financing. You go to our local dealer. We'll take care of you. Get a hold of us. Don't let your dream go by and miss this opportunity of this machine 21X Elite. Again, 7-inch screen, edge warning built in, needle jog. It has lights. It has manuals, easy buttons on the controller, on the handlebar. So just a fantastic machine.
Mark, I think my favorite feature on all of these machines is that bobbin estimator. This morning I was talking with one of our machine testers, and she had, designed a quilt with the automation, had everything quilted out, and it wasn't even a large quilt, a large project, but she went through 7 bobbins on this project. If the machine didn't have the bobbin estimator, it's like how many times? I know how many times I would have run out 7 times, and then had to go back and figure out where my stitching was and get everything lined back up. But that bobbin estimator on these new machines, I think that's probably my favorite feature.
Yeah, it is. It is really nice to get those bobbins bound. Okay. Real fast, I want to just mention with the accessories, yes, we do have ruler bases, we have rear handles.
Not for the
16s are coming
yet.
in. They're coming in. The end of this year, you'll have the ruler bases. So those who are looking at the 16, if you want to get the ruler base, you can still get that. It will be on back order though, but we'll ship it out as soon as they come in. So yes, ruler bases, rear handles, bobbins, needles, quilt motion, any accessory you can think of, we have. If we don't have it now, it is on back order until the end of the year. Okay, I love all of our deals, but I also love doing giveaways, and I'm sure so do you. So before we get to the grand prize, I want to go ahead and let's do a Plinko giveaway. Okay. Let's just do one Plinko giveaway. Do you know what question you want to ask? Because I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay, I am going to say with our October promotions, what machine and frame combo are you going to put into your cart and check out with?
Oh, so there you go. So not really any particular
not any
answer on
particular
that, right? Just
question,
what are you going to put in your cart?
What are you going to put in your
we'll
cart?
Go ahead and pick that up there. I love that question. What are you going to put in your cart? So as we get rolling that in, we're going to get some, and then we're going to get to the giveaways. We have 2 daily giveaways, right? Or
Yes.
we do throughout the segment, and we have 2 to give away at this segment. The giveaways, and we'll get to the winners here, why these are rolling in here, but the giveaways, one is going to be a $200 gift card.
Yes. So we have a $200 gift card today. You can buy a lot with these promotions with that $200. So that's going to be a phenomenal gift.
Yep. And then we also have our master ruler combo with 6 TrueGrips giveaway as well. So a fantastic giveaway that has all our rulers. You saw Devin cut with our ruler earlier that had our track on the edge of our ruler. So, okay, did we get on the Plinko pies? Check out on the cart, what do we have? Let's go ahead and pull a random winner up and who's going to put it on in their cart. This is exciting because I'm curious to see who's going to put what in their cart and ready to check out. So go ahead and, all right. So 21X Elite and 10-foot frame automation. Fantastic.
Love it. And
okay.
I love the quilt in her picture. It's colorful and fun. And
yep. All right, let's do one Plinko drop down.
All right. So there we go. Comfort cutter.
Okay.
Woohoo!
So my comfort cutter, that's our ergonomic cutter you saw Devin use, which aligned his wrist, easy to use, and congratulations. So email melinda@graceframe.com to get that prize. Okay.
And be patient with responses.
Yeah, because Melinda's right here, so she can't get to it.
We give away way too much in our fall festival and any of our live shows.
We do.
It creates a lot of work on the back end, but
It's
I
worth
love
it.
it. We love it.
Yep.
Just be patient. You will get a response and we'll get your prize shipped out.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do those giveaways. Again, this is the $200 gift card, the pre-registration, and we're going to do a drum roll on this. Let's go ahead and get our legs. The drum roll. And with the gift card, we also have the master cutting. So while they pulled the winner up, we're just getting some hand gestures that we're going to wait on the winner on that $200 gift card registration. We also have the giveaway. Okay, so Diana Welch, $200 True Cut gift card. So there's a lot you can get with that $200. Take advantage of that. So congratulations on Diana for winning the gift card.
Congratulations, woohoo!
Okay, last but not least, we're going to do the master ruler combo. This has the 6 TrueGrips in there as well with all of our rulers. And let's see who wins this wonderful ruler combo package. All right, drum roll. Okay, Jean, congratulations. Master ruler combo.
Congratulations.
Okay, we have your information. Thank you all for joining. It's been fantastic to have everybody with us. Wonderful videos that we've had throughout the day, throughout the segments. Wonderful ambassadors, projects. Please continue to follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Please remember that we will not ask for anything money-wise from you if you get any of the scammers. You know, there's a lot of that going on. We want to make sure you're taken care of. So thanks for joining. Join with us tomorrow. We have another fun-filled day tomorrow, so please stay with us tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to do our grand prize giveaway, which is our 21X Elite Automation Pro with our Continuum frame. It is over $20,000 we're giving away. That's what we do. Sales are crazy. Grace Company is crazy. Again, thank you. And Melinda, with anything else said, let's say goodbye to our viewers and stay tuned with us for tomorrow.
All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we hope you learned something new today.
Thank you.